What's up, guys? Welcome to the PACommunity Rivals #1 Group Stage Day 2. So before we get into the games and all those kind of things, I should probably explain our tournament structures real quick. The first week of the tournament will follow a round-robin style with each team playing against every other team once. Games will be determined in a first to two format. With yesterday's match, the round robin style for yesterday's match happened to so that it consists of 4 groups of 4, with the top 2 standing teams from each group advancing to the second day, which is today. And today's round robin consists of 2 groups of 4, with the top 2 teams standing from each group advancing to the playoffs. Now, the playoffs, as you can see, will consist of top 4 teams determined in the round robin and will be played in a single elimination bracket. Semifinals will be determined in a first to 3 format, while grand finals will be determined in a first to 4 format. Now, the round robin standings will be determined by the overall wins and loss records. Now, let's get to just a real quick. The map pools order will be generally Control, Escort, Hybrid, and Assault, with a tiebreaker map being Alias, a control map. Now, with that, let's just get into our casters as well. And guys, today we were looking at some pretty interesting matches. But before that, I should probably say hi. So with joining me on the desk is RXthis and Overshakes, our caster. Say hi, guys.
What's up?
Hi.
Hello.
So guys, today we'll be looking at 3 matches, which would be Meow versus Cog0, followed by Cog0 playing again versus Hanji's Hunting Ground, and finally Connect Gaming versus Indumi. Now, of course, we saw Meow play yesterday, and is there like anything that you want to kind of point out from what happened yesterday that you kind of think that should be pointed out with how Meow played yesterday?
I think definitely the DPS side of Mel, especially Kurumi, did really well on the picks that he used, which was primarily the Hanzo on the first map and the Widowmaker in Hollywood. Gosh, that Widow in Hollywood still impresses me today because he was able to get so many picks at the correct timings, and yeah, really good plays from Kurumi from Mel.
Right, and you bring up Kurumi as well. I'm gonna ask, do you think the DPSs on Meow's side would be the ace for the team? Like, do you think they're gonna be the thing that kind of drives the team to victory today?
I think that Connect Gaming Zero, being a team as strong as it is, I'm not sure if the DPS side of Meow is going to be enough to overthrow Cog0. Now, Cog0, a very experienced team, and their roster is absolutely stacked. So Meow really needs to prove their worth in order to really beat Cog0 and show them that they can actually do it.
Right, and with Cog0 being kind of an established team, what are we expecting from them today? Like, do you think they're gonna have the advantage coming into this game?
Yeah, definitely. Cog0, from what I know, have been screaming consistently, even if there is no tournaments, because they're just that motivated to grind this game. They have been screaming consistently, and I don't know that Mel has that same practice and scrim schedule that they have. I know a lot of them are just ranked players that just got together for this tournament. So I don't know how well prepared in this meta that Mel is compared to COG0, and especially because since their last tournament, COG has added another DPS to their roster, Daisy, a really good hit scan player, peaking 4.5k SR on North American servers. And that's a really good feat considering the ping deficit he's on.
Right, and you mentioned that they did have a little bit of a roster change. Do you think that's gonna have an effect on the team's performance in terms of, like, say, synergy on side of COG0?
Definitely. I think that the change of even one member of a team could definitely just change entirely on how a team correlates with each other, and it could really just change up a certain playstyle or like decision making. It really, and an entire roster change can definitely mean can definitely make a good team or make a bad team. It really depends.
Right. And of COG, right? Today have COG Zero, and you also have Connect Gaming both in the tournament. What do you think is going to happen if they both make it to the finals?
I think actually there has been a lot of Japanese community small cups and tournaments lately hosted by the Japanese community, and actually surprisingly these two are probably the best two Japanese teams right now, and every time they meet in the finals, it's actually the main team Connect Gaming who always comes out on top, even in the latest Japan Open Test series. So I think that Connect Gaming has advantage, but interesting to see that whether the new addition of Daisy can equalize that ground for COG Zero.
Right, and I think we have a lot of us here have a lot bit more faith in COG Zero taking this match. What do you think Meow can do to really get back?
I think that Meow is Meow really needs to put something on the table, and like they really need to show us something special if they want to come out as victorious here. I do believe that COG Zero would win on paper, but there's always surprises in Overwatch.
Yeah, but I'll have to mention that yesterday Mel took a surprising first map win against the main team themselves, Connect Gaming. And it was due to the fact that the DPS line for Mel was really good, and actually they have 3 DPS players, so they can feel more of a variety of strategy compared to a lot of teams. And interesting to see how they do against the quote-unquote B team when they took the main team so close yesterday.
As you just said, they did take a map of the main team. I guess that's got to show that even if you aren't necessarily a team, sometimes it still works out, right? So I'm guessing it's easy to say that we are predicting COG to Zero to take this map, but do you have any different opinions that you don't think Meow might be able to take this game, the series?
Actually, I think because COG Zero are from Japan, right, and they are playing on SCA servers, so Meow is at a ping advantage here, and I think this game is gonna be really close. So I'm wondering whether the ping could affect COG Zero in a negative way, where Meow could end up clinching out the win today.
I mean, the ping over to Southeast Asian servers is like 100, I think, from Japan.
Yeah, Japan gets 100
So,
MS.
I think maybe they might be able to blame the first map on the ping, but I think once they get used to it, it'll be all right. I don't think that COG Zero should. I don't think that they should show any signs of losing here.
Right, because I mean, I live in Malaysia and our internet is already bad enough. So I think they should be. I can play pretty well, so I don't think it could be that big of a factor. But okay, let's just talk about the game today. Like the match itself, do you see? We've been seeing some interesting comms and stuff like that, especially from certain teams. Some of them maybe a little bit more memey than others. Are you seeing? Do you think any of these teams are going to have a strategy or like a certified comp that they've been practicing that is probably going to win them the game today or the series?
I know for certain that on COG Zero, they have a Widow specialist in terms of Mihawk, who plays some people in the Japanese community call him a Widow one trick, but I'm pretty sure he has more heroes up his sleeve, but his Widow is his best hero. And I'd like to see the Widow battle versus from Kurumi and Mihawk and see which one comes on top, because both have a really good sniper up their hands.
Right, that's a really interesting to point out, because we saw yesterday that some other teams cannot kind of match up to how good Kurumi is. So it'd be really interesting to see that matchup, that 1v1 Widow matchup. What do you think is going to win in that matchup?
I think that Mihawk is gonna take the W on this one. I think that players in Southeast Asian servers, they're not really exposed to that much pressure due to the lack of coordination from the teams, right? Like Southeast Asian games can be arguably like a bit lower tier than let's say Asia games, like in KR servers, and players from COG Zero, they grind those servers almost every single day, and I definitely think that Mihawk is not going to be backing down away from Kurumi here.
And we're talking about players. Let's just take a look at our the players we have today. The players that we're playing If you look at Meow, can you break it down for us?
So starting off from Mel, we have Cybern and Nyx rank on the tank line, followed by Kurumi and Selichao on the DPS line, and Nisovin from Tails Runner on the support line. And of course, if you have been hearing, we've been talking big a lot of Kurumi, the sniper for Mel. But I would like to say that Selichao on the other DPS is no slouch himself. Yesterday we saw some really good nano blades coming out with the combo from Nisobin's Ana. And they have 3 DPS in their roster as well. So if any time they want to re-evaluate their strategy, they have a third DPS, Phantoms, to come in and fill the hole that they need.
Right, and you know bring that no, it's we talk a lot about the DPSs, but it's safe to say that the rest of the team as well are able to not just keep up but also besides the DPS, are there any like particular players on the tank line or the support line that you really want to point out as well?
Not necessarily. I don't really think either of the tanks or supports have been surprising me with any huge plays. But one thing for sure is that if they were to shine, today is the right day to do it.
Right. And let's just take a look at COG Zero's lineup. Could you bring this down to us as well? We have Daisy, obviously. So could you bring it down how, with Daisy being in here, how is that going to change the lineup and how does the lineup work?
So on COG 0, there'll be Leonotorix, Nozzle, Daisy, Jin, Nivis, and Rimu. Interesting to note that Mihawk is not in. I'm pretty sure that it's because the first map will be King on the Hill, and usually you don't see much sniper play in these types of maps. And I don't really know what is Jin's hero pool. Maybe he can bring out something like the projectile, I don't really know, but it'll be interesting to see how they rotate their DPS line, because both of these teams, as I mentioned before, has the 3 DPS lineup up their arsenal.
Quite interesting to see here is that Daisy is a Tracer player. He's a known Tracer player in the NA servers. But Nozzle is also a known Hog player. Now, I'm not really sure if Nozzle has been working on other off-tanks.
I know he has a good Sigma also, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, his Sigma is also very decent, but with Hog and Sigma not really being a very strong suit in the current meta, we'll really see if Connect Gaming Zero really has anything new up their sleeves.
Yeah, so look about the matchup here today. Like, besides just the DPSs itself, like, do you think the tank lines can go against each other? Tank lines and support lines would be able to kind of go against each other, at least in the way they perform.
Yeah, and one thing I will highlight is that after listening around, I think a lot of consensus is that normally the Japanese teams, their communication structure is really fluid and they're really well synergized. So I don't know whether COG 0 is that synergized, but judging from previous Japanese teams, I think they have the advantage here. And because Cybern and Nyx rank, actually I think they have good synergy because I've been seeing them duoing a lot in rank lately, and I think they have been preparing for this tournament as a tank duo. Yeah.
Right, and I think I think you could say that they all speak the same language. They're all from the same region. I think it does. But yeah. So with that, let's just kind of go to our casters and go for a match.
Thank you, veterans. And the first map will be beginning shortly between Mel and COG 0. Let's see what the first map will be. It will be Busan. Can you break this down for us, Overshake?
Alright, Busan. A lot of high grounds, a lot of little nice corners that a nice Widowmaker can work his way through on. Quite interesting that they decided not to put in Mihawk on such a Widow-oriented map like Busan. But I definitely don't think that Jin and Daisy on the DPS line will disappoint.
Yeah, definitely, and I want to see what Nozzle will be pulling out, because in this meta, it's been more of a Zaya meta, right? Am I right, Overshake?
Yep.
And Nozzle, historically, I haven't really seen his Zaya before, so I don't know what he will play. So I think that's interesting to see what comes out from both teams. Of course, I can't wait to see Kurumi and Selichao shine again on these rosters.
Indeed. I'm not really sure what type of playstyle Meow is gonna be playing. I'm not sure if they're gonna be orienting their playstyle against like each other, or if they're just gonna dump every single resource on their DPSs, like Decay from Washington Washington Justice.
Washington Justice.
I almost said Washington Wash this.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, yeah.
All right, this is downtown Busan.
You actually studied and remembered the map stages this time.
Of course, I'm not embarrassing myself again, and I'll probably forget the next two maps. Now, Meow opting for a Rein, Zarya, Hanzo, Mei, and an Ana Lucio composition here. Quite interesting to see.
Yeah, they actually played this yesterday on Lijiang Tower against Matrix, and it worked to quite well with success. But rolling out on this match, here we go. The first day of PACommunity Rivals Day 2 will be starting now. The first match already underway. TP's out from both teams. Daisy going to his signature tracer like we expected. And it seems like it'll just be a poke warfare. Leonopterix looking for any opportunity he can to slam the rest of Mel into his own team. And there he goes, the bubble already being popped, but the freeze from Salichao is already there and he gets taken down so quickly. But Daisy is there to return the favor. Tails Runner falling down. There's a speed boost gone, and look how lonely Sovian is. Without his partner support, there's no one to really keep him up and peel for him. It's just Daisy has to capitalize on this now, but the wall from Salichao blocks off Nozzle and he's nowhere to be seen.
Man, the members of Meow just cowering in fear due to Daisy's Tracer just doing so much work at the back here.
Yeah, the Discord is already on Cybern and he falls. Seems like even though Meow managed to get some few key picks early on, the fight still goes in the way of COG0 and they'll be getting first control of Busan downtown.
Nice little, nice few clean picks coming from Daisy here. Man, COG0 really just surrounding the point, and Meow just really couldn't do anything about it. They really didn't have the space that Rein Zarya could provide. Oh, a nice little headshot there from Kurumi. That's actually quite crucial, as the Tracer is very important in a ball-oriented comp here.
Now there's the star player we've been waiting for from Kurumi, but Jin shuts him down already with the Ash. And right now, Meow are just trying to wrestle control of the point with Leonoptrix spinning around. Activates his minefield and Daisy is lurking with a pulse bomb, but Nisovin is there with a nano boost to counter. Let's see who will throw it down. Maybe he wanted to throw in a Cybern, but it's already too late because Cybern falls and Daisy is just trying to push in right now. Use his pulse bomb, nothing really done, but Nick's rank already falls, and with the rest of Mel going down, it seems like COG0 still has control of this point.
Even though COG0 did get their Tracer pick there, Meow still wasn't able to advance just because of how much burst damage COG0 has on their comp. The Ashe, the Brig Zen comp, and the Zarya just bursting the shield down, not really letting anything...
So, I'll be able to catch up.
But the early Graviton Surge from the side of COG0 catches Mel off guard and Leonoptrix slams in and already gets 2. And I think this fight is already over before it even happened. Decisive Graviton Surge play there from Nozzle, proving that he isn't just a Hawk Sigma 2 trick.
Man, Meow really has to show us what they have with the amount of ults built up. There's a Grav Dragon ready in their economy, but hitting a huge Grav is just so hard on what COG0 is playing here. They're really gonna have to look for a solo Grav on maybe the Ball or the Zarya.
Yeah, Mel, Nick's ranks really has to fight for his Grav, but Jin already capitalizes, sends his Bob in, gets Tail Runner, and Daisy. Oh, but Kurumi with the Dragon Strike managed to equalize with 2, but it's still a 3v4 right now on the point, and with Nozzle and Jin getting picks respectively, I fear it's already over for Mel before they even tap. 8% on the board for Mel, but without anyone to touch, the first map will probably go to COG0.
Meow just playing straight into COG0's comp. They're not even able to fight back. Even though Kurumi had a couple nice picks there, COG0 just fought back with that Tracer and Ashe composition, and they just weren't able to stabilize. The Rein shield was always breaking, and he just couldn't swing at anything. I'm not really sure if they had Shatter to begin with in that map.
Yeah, let's see if Mel decides to change up their game plan. Seems like they're swapping out Kurumi to the McCree and Sir Lee Chao to the Hanzo, so dropping the Mei along with the Mora. What do you think difference would that make for Mel over Shake?
I think Meow is looking for a bit more long-range pressure, as this is quite a hard map to execute Brawl on.
But with the Moira, it's really weird if they want to play this type of long-range comp, as because with the Moira you really want to play close range. COG sees the composition and decides to play it slow at the start.
Alright, Kurumi hitting some nice shots onto Jin here.
Yeah, but Daisy, the Tracer, we all know, already gets a pick onto Kurumi, but Lee Chao gets a finishing headshot onto the aggressor, and also needs some support on the point right now. COG0 are trying to stabilize, it's still anyone's game, but COG0 still have both supports alive and Mel doesn't. It's only up to Tier Runner to keep sustain the rest of his team, and seems like when the fight goes on for long, COG0 is at an advantage here.
Man, just so many angles that for COG0 to play in Busan Sanctuary here. I remember that one too. Busan Sanctuary, just such a wide map, so good for Zen, so good for Ashe, so good for Tracer, so good for Ball. It's just so many angles that not every member of Meow can look at, and that just causes such a steamroll.
And so Lee Chao swaps over to the Tracer, wants to contest Daisy on his own mirror. But the dive already comes out from Leon Nocturix, as you can see the rest of COG0 will collapse onto them. Rimu might have went down really low there, but he has the Transcendence to save him from it. And Cybern looking for a shatter right now. Anytime is the moment, but he falls to Nozzle.
So many ults coming in.
Mel tried to flip the fight there with next rank's Graviton Surge, but really didn't pay any dividends because COG0 is still rampaging throughout the composition of Mel right now.
So many ults coming in from both sides of the teams, both the support ults being used on COG0's side, as well as the DPS ults and the Minefield, while Meow making that swap over to Hog. Interesting. Personally, I'd expect Hog to get pressured more, especially against what COG0 is running.
Maybe they're trying to zone out Daisy here, but the dive from both the Ball and Tracer duo from COG0 already catches out Kurumi. And 80% on the board here for COG0. Mel needs to retreat really fast now, if not they don't even have a fight left.
And Daisy has just been so clean on the Tracer, he's just able to follow up so well on what plays Leon Operix has just set up for him.
Last attempt here from Mel on their rush composition. They have the Deadeye, they have the Shatter. Let's see if anything can be done with these two ultimates. Solo Shatter onto Navis may not be the best, but he gets the work down because he does fall, and half of COG0 has already fallen, and it seems like for the first time on this map, Mel has the advantage here, and whether they can capitalize is another thing. However, it seems like finally with the Q onto Nozzle they can, and will wrestle control of the point.
Actually,
Meow, not really that many ults on their disposal. COG0 really with the trance and almost near to the rally here. Seems that Meow really has to play very safe and smart with what type of ults COG0 has in their disposal.
Yeah, certainly. It's up to the DPS outs from Mel whether they can get anything done. They're just playing on the drum side right now in cover, but Next Rank is kind of alone on the point. They really need to punish him, but they will punish the Sovin instead, and Cybern falls already, and as quick as the fight happened, it's already over because Jin and Daisy respectively took down who they needed to on Mel. And it seems like Busan Sanctuary will be COG0, just a stall game right now, but no one to be seen on the point, as COG0 will be taking the first map of Busan.
COG0 just really able to show us the class difference coming in, and they're just able to show that, man, if you really want to get good, you should come and grind KR, because they're really showing us what the KR meta is all about here. As you can see, these beautiful shots coming in from Rimu.
Yeah, really a clash of playstyle differences here. Mel wants to opt for the brawl, But COG don't want to mirror that. They play the ball Zaya that still is popular in Korea, maybe phased out a bit in other region, but you know KR and Asia in general, they want to play the fast dive compositions. And do you think that Mel should stick to the brawl or reevaluate their strategy going into the second map?
I think Meow should have actually played poke against what Cog Zero had for them. Even if Brawl doesn't actually work out, they should actually. I mean, I'm not really sure why they kept running Brawl. Maybe they should have thought about swapping their comps, but I'm not really sure why they stuck to the Rhine, especially since you can't really. They kept trying to speed into the point, and it didn't work over and over again. I'm not really sure why they kept their strategy, but if they really want to have a chance against what Cog Zero has in store for them, they should really just try and mirror them. As you can see, Cog Zero having 100 points against Meow. I think that was a bit of a typo error.
Well, certainly with the dominance they've been showing on the first map, it kind of looks like it could have been 100-0 if we played this on for 100 maps. And Mel, right now, they need to take a mental reset and show the same form that they showed yesterday when they took a map off the main team. And actually, they took Connect Gaming on Busan, which they just now lost. So the strategy that worked for them yesterday isn't really working now. And why do you think that is, Overshake?
I think that different teams have different play styles, and Cog Zero has just a different interpretation of how to play against what comp Meow is oriented with. And I think that they understand what Meow is trying to do, and they just 100% understand how to like play around against it.
Yeah, but definitely, but coming into this, maybe Mel has only practiced the Brawl comp, so they're only well versed on them and they're just trying to stick it out right now, but they need to make a decision right now whether they want to stick on the Brawl or swap compositions to maybe something more uncomfortable for them. If you were in their shoes, what do you think you would do, Overshake? Stick to the comp you know, or try something new for once when you're down?
Oh, I mean, you're asking a one trick that now. Obviously, I understand that one tricking a comp isn't really good, even if you're absolutely phenomenal at that comp. Overwatch is designed in a certain way that your favorite comp might not work out on certain maps, and I think that even if you're just so good at running a certain comp, you should at least learn how to like learn one or two more comps just so that you're way more comfortable. And it also sort of helps with you understanding the flow of the game as well, with the exception of GOATs during like 2019, that is.
Yeah, speaking of certain comps running on certain maps, we'll be taking a look what will be our second map for the first match. And it should come out on the screen any moment right now. And it will be King's Row, which I think certainly favors Mel's playstyle. Am I right, Overshake?
Definitely, but we'll see what Cog Zero is running now. Now they might actually match Meow and run a Brawl of their own, or they might opt for a double shield composition and staple their position on the high ground here. But we'll really see what will happen very, very soon.
Teams right now just waiting in lobby, maybe discussing something or some technical issue. Just gotta wait a little bit longer before we can see both these teams in action again.
Indeed,
And I wonder if there's going to be any substitutions for both sides, whether Mihawk or Phantoms will be coming in. But Daisy and Jin have been doing so well so far, so maybe they don't even need to sub in their Widow Ace on King's Row.
Definitely, Daisy's performance has just been so phenomenal in Busan right there. He was just able to just follow up on the plays set by his team, just able to get the picks that are necessary in order for COG Zero to win the fight. And honestly, I wish I had hands like that, man.
Yeah, but it's not just Daisy, it's the ball duo that he has. Leonoptrix also really good at setting up the dive. And we need to see that same synergy on the side of Mel if they want to challenge COG Zero. And remember, because there are only 3 games in the group stage, every map and every match matters. So Mel needs to step it up now. If not, they'll be going to their second match at a really great disadvantage.
Indeed, but they also definitely do have a better chance against COG Zero in King's Row, where Hanzo is quite effective in my opinion. I think we're still gonna see some Rein Zarya Hanzo action because it's a really easy and decisive way to win fights, right? Like Grav Dragon has been one of the oldest combos out there, and I think that it's quite easy to execute unless there's no defensive ults, of course. And I think that Meow's playstyle is gonna be oriented towards that.
Yeah, and also definitely I think it's also down to the fact that Cybern and Nyx rank are the most comfortable tanks are the Rein and the Zarya, so definitely probably a huge factor in that. And let's see whether they'll be more flexible on King's Row or just stick to the guns. Whoosh.
Also quite impressive coming in from COG Zero's support line. They were able to spot out smart rotations against where Meow was going, and they didn't really get caught out in the open. It's a mistake that a lot of supports make, but COG Zero supports were just able to just take correct angles and just really just hide away from the danger coming in from Meow.
Yeah, and certainly as a flex support, one of the most important things that you need to take note of is your rotations, because as such a squishy character, you need to rotate fast before the enemy catches you out. Heading to King's Row, Mel has chosen to swap to the attack, leaving
Indeed.
COG Zero on the defense. And it seems
And-
like
yeah.
Mihawk is in.
Ooh, Mihawk opting in for that Widowmaker, and Jin on the Tracer. Interestingly enough, I honestly would expect Daisy to be in to play the Tracer since he just showed so much confidence on that Tracer. But we'll be seeing Jin on some Tracer, and we'll see if he's good enough to fill up Daisy's shoes with his absence. Now Mihawk on that Ashe as well, and Meow looking for a double bubble composition, or that maybe just scouting with the monkey.
Yeah, maybe COG Zero has something else up the sleeves on their attack, because certainly if you want to play Tracer, why not just play Daisy? And yeah, Mel going up for their standard rush comp, this time with a Baptiste instead, a more normal look for the rush comp, and Leonoptrix already there, ready to zone out, but he seems like he's gonna get caught out any minute, and Nyx rank does catch him out. So COG Zero now has to stabilize without their main tank to help them, but nice play right there, forcing out the immortality from Mel, but Kurumi gets a kill onto Nivis, immediately gets rest however, so there is no advantage yet for Mel, but Kurumi gets another. Let's see if he can get any more else, the rest of his team, and that he does. Gets a pick on the remove, and just with a few well placed arrows from Kurumi, open the point wide right open for Mel.
Man, Meow really just rushing through COG Zero right now, and yeah, a bit unfortunate that Leonoptrix was kind of caught in the open right there. I don't think he was expecting the entire team just to rush him down like that, but that's why you do your scouting.
Yeah, certainly a surprise factor, but maybe not, because you know that Mel likes to play this comp, right? So he should have expected that. Bit of a misplay there. But
Indeed.
they still have another opportunity. Nivis, look where he is right now. He's taking the off angle, wants to look for a nade, and he nades 4 people on Mel, and there's no healing. All the healing is cut off right now, and Jin gets a pick, capitalizes, takes down Tails runner. And Jin is on the flank right now with the pulse bomb, tries to one-clip Salichao, but Salichao takes him down, says no, today is not the day you pulse bomb me. Both teams right now just trying to stabilize with COG Zero on the high ground, but Mihawk has the bomb waiting and ready. Let's see whether he decides to pop it. But Leonoptrix pops his Primal Rage first, and Cybern is so low right now, he gets taken down, and with a Q, other picks from Leonoptrix, it seems the fight is over for Mel as they're forced to go back to the retreat.
playing Ryan Zarya in this part of the map against against how Cog Zero is playing must be really annoying. They're just staying at the high ground. They're just so adamant on holding that space, and a sneaky little flank coming in from Navis again. Grav coming through.
Solo grab onto Cybern, maybe not really what they're looking for, but the Pulse Bomb from Jin catches out the McCree. And once again, Mel forced to retreat. Maybe not yet, however, because the Graph Dragon combo is out for Mel, but it isn't the Dragon that kills everyone, it's actually Cybern's Hammer. As Mel are back on the payload and pushing it towards third point.
COG Zero's overconfidence and absolute greed for kills really made them pay. They unfortunately lost that point right there, and I'm not... Oh, okay, they actually probably can touch, but still, this is just so much space that Meow is just capping for free over here.
Well, they can touch, but the mercy of remove will be probably late, and without the Valkyrie is really one of the important supports out of the fight for COG Zero. Early dive comes in from Leonotorix, but already gets punished, and the momentum from Tails Runner down barrier will probably be enough to push COG Zero back to spawn.
Meow really looking strong here, but we'll be seeing if they can still carry on this momentum, as this third point of King Zhou is just such a high ground oriented map, and COG Zero, we know that they have a very competent Ashe, and it seems that COG Zero wants to play a Ryan Zarya of their own. Quite interesting to see.
Yeah, and also Mel turning it up since the first map, showing that they are not here to lose, they really want to win. And next rank has been doing so well right now with the high charge Zarya. Makurumi, consistent as ever with his headshots, catches out Rimu. Jin returns one, but it's still a numbers advantage here for Mel.
Meow showing their absolute dominance right now, and looks like their confidence has been established.
Yeah, and good grab from Nozzle, but also get grabs off his own, and they need someone to touch the point right now, but they do have it, and Rimu gets a pick onto his counterpart Lucio, and it seems like at the final point, TOG managed to stabilize and defend against Mel.
And that last fight really coming in crucial for COG Zero. They actually could have stopped the cart way earlier due to the fact that Mihawk on that Ashe, he could just camp that high ground, and Meow really can't do anything about it besides from Kurumi, but it seems that they couldn't really take a full fight, and they just kept on getting staggered.
High Noon from Selichao comes out along with the nano boost from Nivis onto Leonobrix. The Shatter wins the main tank battle, and Shatter's 2 on the ground catches both of them as well. And with the Dragon Strike to complete from Kurumi, it seems like Mel will be able to push COG Zero off the point and secure the third point. Valiant attempt from Jin's High Noon there, but not enough to stop Mel.
Goodness gracious, Meow absolutely exceeding my expectations right here. It seems that, you know, in a map where Brawl is very dominant, they're just able to carry out their comp with just such ease.
Yeah, and on the attack, it seems like without Daisy on the Tracer, Jin hasn't really been doing as well as he could. But to be honest, he's not really the appointed Tracer player for this team. So let's see on their attack if they have anything planned, which is why they subbed in both Mihawk and Jin. Maybe a double sniper or something along those sorts.
COG Zero opting for that double bubble composition again, something that they couldn't really execute properly on defense, and will be able to see it on attack.
It seems like they're still playing Jin and Mihawk on the Tracer Ashe, so it's still a question of why aren't they playing Daisy instead, and why are they still going on Jin?
I'm not really sure if I know the answer to that question, but, well, maybe he might be able to prove your statement right there, Alexis.
I hope he does, because I certainly do not know. They certainly know more about the game than me. which is why they're the ones playing. And it seems like the Sonic Arrow early from Kurumi spots out COG's rotation and just a stalemate at this point. Trying to look for any opportunity. Jin is all the way behind on the Tracer right now, but Tails Runner spots him up. Can they confirm the Q onto Jin? Jin needs to run back to his team retreat as fast as possible in fear of getting called out.
Mihawk with just so much space, unless Kurumi can hit a nice little headshot onto him, he's not going to be contested for the entirety of the fight.
Short jump here from Leonopterix, trying to cleave as much as possible, but it's still a stalemate. No one has fallen from either teams yet, and Nozzle is just perched on the high ground trying to do lob in Desire right clicks as much as possible. And Knife is almost up to the Nano Boost. I think that's the engagement too that COG has been waiting for, and with the Nano onto Leon, he's just cleaving down both tanks, and next rank is so low with the Immortality Force from Mel. And Jin gets a nice return kill onto Cyburn, and Nozzle's high energy on the hotel. They're just getting one after another, and it seems like when the stalemate has cleared, it seems like COG0 will be the ones on top.
Alright, COG0 pushing through first point with a breeze here. And yeah, that Nano Monkey really opened up opportunities for COG0 to kind of pop off there, but Kurumi with that nice little dink hitting on that Mihawk right there.
And let's see what Mel is going to attempt on their first defense or second point. Mihawk has the Bob and Rumu has the Valkyrie. Two really good engagement tools right there to throw Mel off their positions.
Grav Dragon on their disposal, and the solo grab on the Ashe really is quite something. It's just gonna get saved by that res though.
Well, the rest comes out, but Jin has already fallen, and with the momentum from the sound barrel going, plus some nice shots from Kurumi, seems like Mel will be the ones who will come out on top this fight. But oh, it's still not over yet because Leonopteric returns the Q onto Cyburn, and with Mihawk's Ashe poking on the side of Mel, it seems like they're forced to fall back right now. Maybe a panning out from Nisovin as his amplification matrix doesn't really accomplish anything, and COG0 will continue to push the payload.
The Anoperix and Nozzle just able to rush through what Meow has, which seemingly looks like a concrete wall, but they're just taking down that wall with such ease. But maybe things might look different with Salichao on that high noon here. But a Nano Monkey on COG0's disposal right now.
High noon being propped right now from Salichao. Can he catch anything? Not likely, but and the Nano comes out from Leonopterix Winston. After the Nano pops his Primal Rage, still surviving for so long, leaving the space so free for the rest of the team to capitalize. And even though Mel has such a great time bank on their own attack, COG has returned with their own.
Leonopterix pushing back the backline of Meow's side. That actually opened up such a nice angle for the rest of COG0's members to pop off here. I think he was distracting about 4 people with that, and that just kind of left the tanks out in the open.
Both teams right now have the Graph Dragon combo ready to show. Let's see which one can execute it more well, and Nozzle, he ups the Graph along with Mihawk's Dragon Strike from the sideline, forces out the Immortality, not really killing anything. And Salichao catches Leonopterix off guard, and next rank's own Graviton Surge is now popped, and Kurumi catches Rimu off with his Dragon Strike. ML stabilizers on the point and defense.
What an interesting angle for a Grav Dragon. It actually did seem to work out, but with the Immortality field coming in from Nisovin, it did save the members of Meow, and Meow kind of looking strong where COG0 should have been looking strong earlier.
And now Mihawk and Jin both swap heroes onto the Widow and the McCree. The double hit scan that they may have wanted to play earlier.
Noperix perched up on the high noon. I think they're trying to just farm Nano before going in. That really is how Double Bubble should work. Leonobrix not really taking ample damage for Anna to capitalize off though.
Simon has the shatter, he might want to go for it now with all of them defenseless, and yeah, he does it and also gets caught out immediately. Just rushing right now into the Ahana from COG0, and they get the rest of the members to follow suit. And well, once again, stabilizing on their defense for 2 fights in a row now.
COG0 wasting the nano at that fight where so many members of their team were already down. Quite unfortunate misplay coming in from them, but with the primal here, maybe a miracle might be shown.
They still have 2 minutes left to attack, so certainly they might not need a miracle just yet, maybe a bit later. Leonobrix asserting the high ground right now. Just wants to take the space for his team, but he's already so low and he's not really in his support sidelines to heal him, and he just gets caught out right in the open from Kurumi's storm arrows. But the rest is there from Remove to Rezimap, but the other support of COG0 already falls. And without looking back, without their front line, the rest of COG0 goes back to the respawn screen.
COG0 just looking very confused, and the confidence that they showed on Busan is just non-existent, I would say. They really...
And Leonobrix now looking to mirror his own Reinhardt along with the support line. Lucio bad mirror on both sides, but Mel has the heavy out advantage, and as you can see here, the Dragon Strike graph already comes out for how many times in this map already, and he's still as successful as the previous times.
Yeah, really taking advantage of that Grav Dragon combo, something so important as I mentioned earlier, and just so easy to execute. And COG0 just walking into it over and over again, it just must be so annoying. And next rank, sniping Mihawk right here. He's showing that he also knows how to play sniper.
Oh, look at Selichao, he's on the flank right now, just wants to end this map right here with a well-placed flash and headshot. Jin, he doesn't realize what is behind him. No one sees him right now, can he push anything? But COG0, oh, the flank high noon catches out Mihawk and Nivis. I think the map might be already over for COG0. Someone needs to touch, but it's a complete team wipe.
Huge play coming in from Selichao there. He actually chose to hide instead of applying pressure on COG0's frontline, and he was just hiding, man. He knew to wait and pop that high noon when it counted. As we can see that play again right here.
Nice flank high noon when COG0 were forced for time on their attack, and Mel will be evening up the score 1-1 as we'll be heading to a third map.
Wow, that game, Meow really exceeded my expectations right there, and they managed to really confuse COG0 into playing into their own cards, and I think that's what's really important in Overwatch, just putting your enemies in a stump and building such a wall that they can't really climb over.
Now, do you think this map here was more of Mel stepping up or COG0 playing it down?
I definitely have to say it was a little bit of both, but also the map pick helping them greatly, and you know, King's Row with so many tight corners and spaces, just such an ideal map for Brawl, and I think Meow really showed off their ability of playing the signature comp that they were registered for.
Yeah, and it seems like Leonobrix Winston not really going too well on King's Row. Maybe he should have swapped to the Reinhardt earlier.
Indeed, but we really can't tell, and I have to say COG0 executed that double bubble composition a little bit poorly, I would say. Not really waiting for the nano to be farmed and just outright trying to brawl a brawl comp with their double bubble composition. They might as well just swap to brawl. So I'm a bit confused on what they were trying to go for there, but Meow, taking advantage of that, was able to sweep them at last point. And I have to say I'm quite quite proud of Meow's performance.
And a lot of players stepping up from Meow, but who do you think really caught your eye on King's Row, Overshake?
Definitely Salichal. I think that he opened up a lot of fights that made Meow come out as the victor in King's Row here. But definitely the combined effort of Meow was also quite impressive. And yeah, Kurumi also landed quite a few picks that you normally wouldn't really be expecting.
Yeah, and let's see whether COG0, after losing King's Row, whether they'll swap Daisy back in, or maybe from Mel's side, whether they'll swap anyone in for their next map. So do you think that the substitution of Mihawk in worked well for what they wanted from COG0?
I think they definitely wanted a competent hit scan player to try and take King's Row first point with such wide angles on first point, and Ash can just stay at the back chilling with a Mercy pocket. But Mihawk, not really, I wouldn't say he played poorly, but he's not really playing up to expectations, I would say. But yeah,
well,
here sorry?
Well, enough about the past, let's focus on the future. As we'll be heading into our third map, both teams right now on match point, and the third map will be Volskaya Industries. Anything you want to see here, Overshake?
Volskaya Industries, this is actually quite a back and forth map, I would say, but I think if Meow keeps on playing on their pace, I think that they're going to be able to win in Volskaya Industries and take this series right here. Mostly due to the fact that Hanzo is just so dominant in Volskaya Industries. I've gotten destroyed by so many Hanzo players in this map. Or maybe COG0 might bring on a Tracer that could absolutely shred Meow right here.
Yes, and it seems after getting confirmation from our producer on the side of COG0, they're going back to the DPS line they had, which was so dominant of Busan. Mihawk is out for Daisy, and it seems like swapping the Tracer specialist back in means they want to play the fast Tracer composition. Maybe also Leon Optrix wants to go back to the ball to help that comp.
Indeed, and I think that COG0 is much more comfortable on a Ball, Zarya, Zen, Brig composition as they were shown in Busan, where they just pulled it off with such ease. And I think that if they're able to execute it here, they're going to be able to sweep Meow. But Kurumi on the Hanzo, definitely not something you should underlook. And he's just been hitting those shots, man. What can I say?
Yeah, certainly, and should be getting into the third map soon. So, interesting to see whether the substitution of Daisy back in will help clinch the victory for COG0, or the Mel can stabilize their momentum from the second map into the third map, take the win.
All right. Now, first point of Volskaya Industries, definitely a very annoying point to push through. We might be seeing some damage boosted Ashes, we might be seeing some Hanzos here and there, or maybe a Tracer that is just annoying your backline. But Meow, it seems that they're opting for their signature Rein Zarya composition again.
Well, certainly with Daisy in the mix right now, they'll probably opt for the Tracer. And Mel on the attack wants to go for Kurumi on his signature Widowmaker pick. Let's see what happens. What do you think of both compositions, Overshake?
I think that COG0, they're looking to try and give their Ashe as much space as they can. Navis is definitely going to be on the pocket, while Leonoporix is just going to be camping health packs back and forth.
Yeah, and the fight has already started. The round has started already. Good dynamite from Jin, gets both supports from Mel low, and with another hit, with another body shot onto Nisovin, kills him. And Mel right now are just forced to retreat.
Man, Meow already having quite a bad start over here. They really need to make it pass to the right room where they won't take as much damage as if they just run it down main. But, you know, alright, they're engaging with that speed boost and taking control of the high ground.
Seems like rotating to the higher ground might just be the correct play for them. Leonopterix goes in, tries to disrupt the rest of Mel. It's a 1v1 battle going on, a skirmish on the spawn, and Daisy wins that out. Kurumi no longer to be seen. The Widowmaker, the pressure is down for the side of Mel. Mel need to do something right now to not make that punishment seem so obvious. And the slam comes in from Leonopterix. Tails runner half HP, but it's Salachau who dies first. Or second actually. And Jin, free real estate right on the high ground, just poking his enemies down, and with Cyber's suicide, they're just forced to retreat.
COG0 contesting Kurumi pretty well, I would say. Daisy in the back annoying him, and did manage to get him get the kill onto Kurumi. And it seems that Meow has had enough of Brawl, and they opted to try the Balazaria composition of their own. Mirroring COG0, quite interesting to see here with Ninsovin on the Brig instead of the Zen.
There's a skirmish on the outskirts right now. Daisy trying to zone out his counterpart Tracer. Next rank trying to take space on the high ground, but Daisy already gets a pick once again on the Tails run, and without the main healer for Meow, I don't think they can do anything much right now because they just forced to retreat once again. And they might have gotten the first tick on their first fight, but after that they couldn't really do anything, and a commitment from Nozzle's Graph just secures the fight win for COG0. Next rank is still contesting the point, but he needs to go back now if he doesn't want to stagger himself.
Alright, COG0 able to control just able to control Meow at their will, and they're just really showing them that this comp takes quite a long time to master and just can't be done at the spot. And Meow really has to look for an opening, something COG0, a mistake COG0 makes. If not, they're not really going to be able to take this point.
Yeah, COG0 certainly looking more well practiced with this composition, and trades from both sides a 5v5, but Nivis is there with the rest. Tails runner tries to go for his own, gets it done, and Kurumi kills off Leonopterix. Still anyone's game at this point. So Lee Chao trying to see what he can do with Jin's Bob on the sideline, and Daisy, can he run havoc once again for this home map? He catches out Nisovin, looking for another, just retreats back to his team for the safety for the time being. And Kurumi gets a pick onto Jin, which might just open the point up here for Mel. With the Bob coming out, I think COG0 really needs to stabilize right now, and they try to do it with the minefield from Leonopterix.
A lot of trades coming in back and forth coming from the both teams. Transcendence coming in from Rimu. Maybe this might be able to save COG0.
It might just. And Leonopterix trying to zone out Kurumi right now, but the numbers advantage is a 5v6. As COG0 is at a numbers deficit right now, and even more apparent because Nivis falls, and at the last moment of their attack, it seems like Mel finally manages to cap the point.
Indeed, and Meow somehow managing to grasp onto the last couple of seconds that were left, and yeah, it seems that they're gonna be able to cap first point. With the Grav Pulse ready on Meow's side, maybe they might be able to just storm through second point as well.
Yeah, and Cyber has the Graviton Surge in his arsenal. Let's see where he throws that out. 5% left. Maybe combined with a Pulse Bomb from City Child could be lethal for the back line of COG0. But COG0 is trying to take the early engagement here with Leonopterix just going in first.
Indeed, Cybern, so much charge compared to Nozzle right here. So many ults
Oh,
already
no.
coming in. Oh, the grab.
Missed time of the grab from Cybern, which results in his own death. Could have just cost Mel their team fight.
Fortunately, they actually managed to get a tick from that, so I wouldn't say all was gone to waste.
Yeah, a slight win in the books for them, but not really a full victory. And Nozzle and Daisy still has their combo ready to wreak havoc onto Mel the next fight. So Mel coming in with a huge ultimate disadvantage.
Indeed, with only the Bob to zone out COG0 and the Grav Pulse with the Bob and Ball on COG0 side. Such a disadvantageous fight that Meow is going into.
Nozzle already looking for a grab opportunity, but he might not need it because Leonopteric's Minefield already catches one from the side of Mel. Rest comes out, the fight can still continue and Leonopterix is low right now. Good bubble from Nozzle, he still has the grab. Up and ready. Whether he'll throw it out is his decision, and there he goes. The grab. Pulse bomb maybe, yep, there's the pulse bomb. Catches all the enemies low enough for Jin and Nozzle to finish up the kills. And with 1 minute left, it's last fight territory for Mel.
Meow absolutely just stumped on what to do against COG0. They really should have practiced this comp beforehand. Such a dominant comp and such an expected comp to run as well, especially since COG0 is known for playing. COG0's players are known for playing the KR servers.
Mel needs to know what they want to do with this composition. The rally from Nisovin can push them in and sustain them for enough time. But need to get some kills on the board as well. So Licha looking for the flank, looking for the one clip, has the pulse bomb, sticks it onto Naivisk and gets the kill. Nice plays right now, but the rest of his team needs to stabilize and get more done because COG0 still has all the willpower right now to contest the point. Looking for the duo once again, so Lee Chao catches Jin, but two of his own teammates have already fallen, and without the tank line there from Mel, I think it might just be over. Nisovin on the point, but he's so low. Good rest onto next rank. He has the minefield, but can he really kill off everyone with his rest of his teammates? Jin swaps over to Doomfist, trying to stall, takes down the bot, but he needs to get some real kills right here, and the minefield from next rank were taken down as well.
Frenzy of all this. Meow actually did manage to get.
They
wow.
capped.
They actually capped. Wow.
It seems at the last moment Kurumi was able to get some key pickoffs and allow his team to cap in overtime.
Initiating match.
Meow coming in at capping the point on when they're right on the clock here, but we'll see if they can keep getting lucky, as COG0 might show us something different when they're on attack.
Yeah, and certainly let's see what composition both teams will be rolling out on. Seems like Mel wants to go for the Winston Xayah, the double bubble on the defense. A bit of a style change from the previous round. And Saiban is still on the off tank, even though in the previous matches and maps he has been on the main tank. A bit of a late last minute role swap right now for Mel. What do you think that is? Do you think they had this plan, or is it just a emergency swap to fit what they need right now?
Maybe they thought that, you know, one is not really performing that good on either, so maybe they might think that making a swap might just be the key, but we'll see about it.
Yeah, let's see whether the double bubble versus the ball Xayah, which one will be the better composition here for both teams. And on the defense, Mel, they have to wait for COG0 to go in before pouncing on them. So Lee Chao is smelling blood in the water. He's chasing down Liam Notbrix, who needs to retreat back to his team, but while doing that, his whole other team managed to rotate to the high ground. Nice boot right there, catches down the Ana. He's so been forced back onto the low ground as Daisy is trying to go in with his tank. killing off Nisovin is a good start for COG0. Need 1 or 2 more kills to secure the fight, and Selicha doesn't want that to happen because he catches Nivis on his own.
Quite a back and forth fight coming in right here. Kurumi with a couple of picks, and the tank line coming in from COG0 not quite backing down either. And Jin coming in to return that favor.
Jin used his coach gun to boost himself out before getting the kill onto his counterpart Ash. Mel still has the opportunity to recontest here. A lot of their members are still alive, just waiting for the correct moment. Leonopterix pushing down Cybern into his own death. And the Pulse Bomb Lee Chao didn't really accomplish much aside from forcing out the personal bubble. And the kills are coming in for COG0, just filling the kill feed right now with their own names, making them able to clap the first point.
See, running a monkey into what COG0 is running is just so difficult. And you would rather have a ball, as when you're playing monkey, your backline can't really push up.
COG looking for Selicha looking for the opportunity to catch one of the backline members of Mel right now as they are pushing through their attack. A lot of ults being committed from both sides along with the Transcendence. Next rank pretty low on the point right now. Tries to back out, but there's no healers in his sights. Selicha trying to do something down, but Daisy is in his own team's backline. And they cap 2 points. COG0 a quick decisive cap on the second point, which means that Mel either loses or draws here.
I think COG0 has finally gotten their rhythm. The momentum that they're showing is just absolutely relentless. And I think that with 4 minutes and 40 seconds on the bank, capping
Pretty
first
much
point
over.
would just be a piece of cake. But who knows, maybe we might see a 4 minute 40-second hold and a third map. And a fourth map.
Remember the miracle you're talking about Mel needed to have, or was it COG0?
It was
I think
COG,
Mel
yeah.
really needs that miracle now because they have to defend first point 1 tick for almost 5 minutes. That's a seemingly almost impossible task. And the composition they decide to do it on is a double shield composition. Another tank line that we haven't seen from them thus far.
Indeed, double shield being quite hard to run, but when executed can just be the thing that you need to win a 4 minute 40-second fight. But we'll really see what happens here. Same composition, but the Tracer in COG0 side being swapped out for a Wit. Okay, never mind. It's kind of annoying whenever I say something and then like it.
But you
kinda
can't,
gets...
you can't really trust who's on the attack for their composition, you know?
Yeah. That's true. Oh no, Tails Runner, you better make it.
I think he will, but COG0 is back on the fast ball Zaya composition, looking to finish it off quickly. Double shield composition for Mel, looking to stabilize on the high ground. Let's see whether the COG0 can disrupt his composition as Leonopterix looking to boop all of them down on flank, just waiting for his Tracer Daisy to set up properly before the rest of his team goes in.
Yeah, and he's seen rolling through just so many people right here.
But Selicha on the backhand catches Jin off guard, stabilizing the team fight for his own team, making COG0 want to rethink their choices a bit. But they're still on the high ground right now. And Nick's rank is so low. Nice heals from his team, taking the Mega Health Pack for his own, and Kurumi sets up the kill feed, the kills, enough for them to defend one fight. But COG0 still has 3 minutes 40 seconds left.
So Lee Chao making quick work of COG0's backline right there. Those picks that he got really opened up an opportunity for Meow to just sustain through the ball Zarya dive that COG0 had in place for them. But it seems that they're going to be opting for a ball Diva comp now.
Yeah, the Diva swap from the Zaya, maybe wanting to do something different. Realize that it may not need the bubbles anymore for the Zaya, and Daisy already catches out Selicha. That's the Tracer duo 1, and with Leonopterix coming back onto the high ground with the slam. Seems like COG0 has established early advantage here, and it's a 4v6. The rest equalizes it a bit, but they need to contest the point, if not they'll just be losing the series.
A little Tracer skirmish that turned into a pick. Unfortunately,
Daisy's just lighting up the kill feed right now for COG0, and seems like at the last moment, along with the rally, there's nothing that Salicha on his own can do. One pick isn't enough, he needs to kill 5 more, and I don't think he can do that. At the end of the day, a close series altogether, but it seems like when Cybern falls, which he doesn't, COG0 will be the one to take the series 2-1. But really interesting because Mel decides to mirror COG0's own Ballzaya. Do you think that was the correct play for them, Overshake? Or should they have just stuck with the rush?
I think they're definitely shown that their rush was a bit hard to pull off against what COG0's comp was oriented to. So that's why I think that they wanted to swap the comp, but if they ran with a rush, I still doubt that they would have won.
Yeah, well played to both teams, but at the end of the day, COG0 would be the one on top. But the action is not over, and COG0 on our broadcast will still be appearing later. Actually, the next match against Hennessy's Hunting Ground, a team full of many players on the SE rank ladder, and some that even come back. So we'll be taking a short break, and when we come back, we'll be having our post-match discussion. So that's it for us now. Catch you a few minutes later.
And we are back. Welcome back to the Pack Community Rivals. Hashtag one. I can never get it right. Group stage day 2. And we saw a match between Cog0 and Meow, where Cog0 won 2-0. But I'm sorry, 2-1. But I mean, that was kind of a long match, as you guys saw, and it was pretty competitive, despite our predictions. Now, I bring back to our casters. Was that what you expected from Meow?
Well, we expected COG 0 to win, but we expected it to be a close match, and it certainly was, and it was good to see that Mel was able to stabilize after being dominated so hard on Busan to take back King's Row. But ultimately,
Right.
maybe some composition difference because they don't seem as well practiced on the ball Zion Voskaya as COG 0.
Right, yeah, and I guess we saw in Busan, if you just break it down like map by map, Daisy really really pulled it off in Busan. What do you think Meow just couldn't answer to what COG 0 was running?
On Busan?
Yes.
Fuck. Sorry, the water. Okay. So I think that since Busan, it's just such a map where there are just so many little angles that very high burst damage characters can just utilize to kind of like hide around and play on. I think that is like the strongest counter to a brawl comp. And since Meow was just so adamant on running the brawl comp against COG 0, that's what really made Meow lose Busan right there.
Right, so you bring up the brawl, their inconsistency to kind of run the brawl comp. Do you think that's what the winning factor was for Cog0? Was that they had a little bit more versatility in the way they could run things, and they could, they knew how to go against the brawl?
I think COG 0 was just, I mean, they were just a better team at the end of the day. They knew how to herd the sheep into the place just right where they want them to be. And I think that is the most important part of playing Balzari, just really putting the enemies onto which place that you really want them to be, making it really easier for your team to just follow up on the kills and really just get that quick victory. But I have to say that Meow's performance was definitely commendable.
Yeah, I mean, in moving on to King's Row, especially, we did see a swap on COG 0's side. They swapped in Mihawk for Daisy. I mean, they had swapped in Daisy for Mihawk. Do you think that was like the right idea?
Well, maybe they had something like a different strategy going on, but it was weird to me that they swapped over Daisy, but they still continued to play Tracer, and actually it was Jin who was playing Tracer, and Jin was playing Ashe on the first map, and Mihawk came in to play the Ashe also. So they were swapping members around just to play the same DPS lineup. So maybe it was a playstyle difference that they were trying to accomplish, but it was really confusing to me why they swapped around the roster.
Right, and with the swapping in of Mihawk, did you expect them to want to run? Would you have expected them to run something else that Mihawk was, maybe much more capable at than his other teammates?
I was actually, I thought that they were probably swapping in Mihawk for playing like a sniper hero, maybe like a Hanzo or a Widow. Since in King's Row, Hanzo's really good, and you can also make Widow work in King's Row. But no, I'm not really sure why they swapped him in if they were just gonna run an Ashe Tracer. I think that if they were gonna stick to Ashe Tracer, they should have just put in Daisy and Jin on the DPS line for Ashe Tracer, because they were showing just such confidence and dominance over Meow and Busan with those characters respectively. And swapping it over just kind of breaks the rhythm that has been just piling up and up and up for COG 0.
Yeah, nothing
I
more
see.
to say about
And
that.
speaking of which, like we talked a lot about Kurumi, watched Kurumi play yesterday. We saw someone like Mihawk come in. are you disappointed that you didn't get to see like a lot more Widow v Widow?
I think it wasn't really that disappointing because we still saw both DPS from both teams popping off, especially Kurumi on King's role on the Hanzo, getting key picks when his team needed it the most. And also props to the other DPSs, Li Chao, also really doing good, especially that flank Hainun at the end to secure his team the map.
So Lei Chao was definitely a strong suit on the side of Miao. He was just showing absolute dominance with the Tracer, just sometimes outright killing 3 people in the back by himself. And yeah, I
Right,
think...
and speaking of which, like...
yeah. Yeah, I just think that his performance was just absolutely astounding. Is he lagging or something?
Well, I mean, speaking of which, we saw like we saw Miao really put up a really big fight compared to Busan.
Right.
Yeah, I appear to be lagging. I'm sorry. Hello?
Yeah, well, okay, well, I guess we're facing some technical difficulties on Vetamin's side, so definitely a little bit upsetting.
So yeah, really good plays from both sides. And when it came down to Volskaya, it was COG0 at the very end on their comfort pick who rode over Miao. So right now we'll be going to another short break for 2 minutes, and we'll be going to talking about the next match, which will be Hennessy's Hunting Ground versus Connect Gaming 0. Stick around.
And we are back with the Pack Community Rivals Group Stage Day 2. I apologize for the connection issues. Sometimes, that's another thing that we have with online productions. Yeah, we just saw Cog Zero take the map between them and Meow, and obviously we just saw them. I wouldn't say I was gonna say dominate, but Meow did put up a good fight. But now that they did just play 3 whole games, guys, do you think Cog Zero is a little tired from just that 3 games going again?
Yeah, maybe they'll get a little bit tired, but I think that if they are experienced players, they will know how to not be that like they have the stamina to continue through the games, and maybe they'll give Hennessy's hunting ground a bit of an advantage here because I think they finished their first match quite early on and they have had the opportunity to even watch the stream. I saw a few other members in chat and they could be analyzing like what COG0 and what compositions they are playing and how to counter them.
Right.
Indeed.
I was just about to bring it up. I was going to ask if if the enemy Hennessy's hunting ground has been watching. Do you think COG Zero's strategies or comps has been compromised?
Well, I mean, if you know what comp a team is gonna run, it doesn't necessarily mean that you've already beaten them. So if they analyze the type of playstyle that that COG0 was running and like what angles they went through as well, and like if they engage like that, then how does the enemy team how does the remaining members of COG0 react? Then they have a good shot of really knowing the strategy of COG0. But with the maps all being different compared to the previous game that COG0 had against Meow, I think that it shouldn't really be that big of a deal.
I see. Yeah, and let's just take a look at the roster. I mean, let's just take a look at roster again with Cog Zero. We saw them play really well at us, and right now they're kind of swapping in Mihawk instead of Daisy again. Do you think that's the right idea?
Yeah, same roster all around. We already are familiar with these players, but Mihawk and Jin will be starting on the first map, King on the Hill. So I think that they want to go for more sniper oriented composition, maybe something more like long range hit scan. So I don't really know. What do you think, Overshake?
Well, I mean, Mihawk wasn't really able to shine when he was subbed in, so maybe he might be able to bring up something impressive on the table here. But personally, I don't really mind the roster changes. If they're gonna run a Tracer again, I do strongly advise them to keep Daisy in. But maybe they practice more with Mihawk and Jin on the Tracer Ashe, and I mean, it's really internal team things that we won't really know unless we are in there to really know the team itself.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, and let's just take a look at your opposition for today, Hennessy's hunting ground, or sometimes just almost Hennessy's SHG. Care to break through what their players are, or like the players?
Yeah, a full Singaporean starting lineup from the Singaporean side of the Overwatch scene. Minju, Tuatau K, Desire, Azalea, Delph, and Shadow Leighton. Minju, some of you guys may know him as Ilium or Osira. What do you think about this roster, Overshake?
Personally, I think that everyone besides from Shadow Leighton in the roster is very irrelevant, and I think that I despise every single one of them besides from Shadow Leighton, because Shadow Leighton is my favorite Lucio player. Not just kidding. It's all fun and jokes. Yeah, there's a lot of good players in this roster already. Yeah. Azalea being Team Singapore's 2019 World Cup player, he really shows his aggression and menace on that Tracer, and he's
Doomfist.
also and Doomfist and Echo as well. Desire, quite a good hit scan player. I saw him on Widow in their scrims the other day, and he was just popping heads like no tomorrow. Yeah. Totoke being a retired main tank player, but he came back again to try and compete for fun. He's also quite competent on the Reinhardt, and he's shown to play Monkey and Orisa as well.
I wouldn't call TTK retired. I say he's washed up.
Oh, he's one. Yeah,
Enough
well,
of the shit. Yes,
all
but,
right.
With TTK on the roster, it's always kind of scary to keep. You hope it can be PT. But yeah, overall, who do you think is going to win this matchup? I think that's the important thing right now.
I think I would like to see what type of composition Hennessy's hunting ground would favor. But if they mirror the ball Zaya, I'll give the advantage to COG0 because I don't think that TTK has that good of ball. He's more known for his traditional main tank characters. But when it goes to the brawl mirror, it's all up in game because I know that Minju or Lumi, he has a really good Zaya and his shot calling, he's probably the main shot caller of this team and he knows the game and he's able to take leadership of the game alongside the experienced player Azalea.
Indeed, and Shadowlitten being
No,
a very
who is it?
oh my god, he's lagging again. Well,
I mean,
yeah.
no, that's a big quick.
He just okay. Well, I guess he's sent to the abyss now, and oh yeah, yeah, quite a few familiar faces that I'm seeing in Hennessy's hunting grounds. There is most of these players are ladder players from Southeast Asian servers, and if you'll be able to see them around High Masters or GM games in Southeast Asia. Now, Shadowlitten, a known Lucio player, and he's also able to flex onto the Brig as well as the Mercy. And Delph, mostly an Ana player, and I haven't really seen him on other heroes. Yeah,
but enough about that. Let's
Mhm.
get on with the map pool. So first map of the match will be King of the Hill. As always, it will be Lijiang Tower. I like to say that Azalea is a player that reached a very high rank of almost 4.5k on the Korean servers, and he took a short break after his professional play, and he's back. And I see him really grinding it out in the ladder these days alongside Minju. So it's up to these, and from talking to them, it's up to these two are the main leaders of Hennessy's hunting ground, alongside a lot of relatively inexperienced players, such as Desire, an up-and-coming player who hasn't really seen much team experience in play.
Indeed, we'll really be able to see what these two teams are capable of in the highest amount of competitive play. But first map being Lijiang Tower. Now, I think that we're gonna see a lot of double bubble or maybe Rein Zarya or maybe Ball Zarya, because those are the main comps that are played in Lijiang Tower, and I can see Shadowlitten already just trembling with excitement. He's able to play his Lucio with no repercussions whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely. And on the other flip side of things, they have Mihawk and Jin on the starting lineup. Without their tracer specialist on Lijiang Tower, it's interesting to see what type of composition COG0 will be pulling up, as we should be getting in the map shortly. So
Indeed.
Lijiang Tower, as you mentioned, a lot of compositions being able to run, a lot of variety from control center to gardens. Which role specifically are you mainly looking out for in this map, Overshake?
I think that Lijiang Tower is a very due to the tight spaces that Lijiang Tower has on certain maps, it's a really especially in Night Market, it's a very DPS oriented map, right? So we're gonna be seeing some huge plays coming in from our DPSs, but hopefully we have the tanks to that are capable enough to really enable the DPSs that are shown here.
Seems like the DPSs are the name of the game in this tournament. A lot of huge pop of plays from a lot of teams, DPSs, and rolling out on both teams. It seems like both of them are opting for the double bubble composition.
Alright, COG0, it seems that they're gonna be running the Echo, Tracer, Double Bubble, Brig, Ana after the Sim teleport, but No mercy with the Echo, it seems. Quite interesting to see here.
Both teleports going out. An Echo versus a McCree. Besides from that, both compositions are completely mirrored. And COG0 will be the ones to take advantage of the space early. Pushing up TTK. Trying to poke right now, but Leon Octorix is already eaten up and anti-nade. But a good, well-placed bubble there from Nozzle will be able to keep him up. And TTK is really low right now, and Desire and Azalea have both already fallen. And it seems like COG0 will be taking the first fight and gaining control of Lijiang Tower.
Man, that teleport really helped out COG0 to take as much space as they could, and that just allowed them to cap points so much faster than Hennessy's Hunting Grounds could.
But Hennessy is already back in the fight, and a nano boost onto TTK, cleaving the back line. Nivis is really low right now. He has a nano boost, but he has to give it up fast. Trace on the side of Jin is trying to poke the back line, but Azalea gets the job done more effectively as he takes down Mihawk. Leon the rings, Boob Stops 2 actually. Shadow Litten and Desire both fall, and the fight is already over for Hennessy as they're forced to retreat back.
Alright, COG0 using the Nano and the Primal to answer to the Hennessy's Hunting Grounds Nano Monkey, and it seems that it was quite effective here. And Hennessy's Hunting Grounds, they really have to show some form of retaliation right here as they push in with a rally, but they get grabbed right here.
The early grab from Nozzle really cuts off what Hennessy's Hunting Ground were trying to pull on the higher ground, and once again forced back to retreat to spawn. But they have a lot of ultimates building up. 4 ultimates on their side. They need to win this fight. This is the pivotal point of the map. If they don't win this fight, they might have just lost Night Market.
Alright, a little bit of skirmish coming in against Azalea and Jin right now. Seems that Mihawk is just able to show his performance on the Echo as well.
TTK going in really deep, and Desire already falls, but Azalea is there to help his team out, returning the trade. An Echo copy comes up from Mihawk on the Winston, gets nice sleep from Delph, but someone wakes him up. Oh, Nozzle is in a lot of trouble right now, exposed with the Nano Monkey on his tail. Azalea trying to do what he can, trying to get any picks he can. But Leonoptrix is there with his stable Primal Rage, pushing Delph back to the respawn screen.
Leonoprix and Nozzle just able to combo their way throughout Hennessy's Hunting Grounds, and they're not really showing much signs of weakness here. COG0 coming out looking so strong against Hennessy's Hunting Grounds.
And it seems Mihawk's Echo was the hero we've been waiting for him to pull out. We have been questioning why is Mihawk in, but maybe he's the Echo player on this team, and his Echo proved really useful to combat Hennessy's Hunting Ground, even with the McCree of Desire trying to counter him.
Leonopteryx and Nozzle as well, they were just able to run through Hennessy's Hunting Grounds and really just showed them how to run the double bubble comp correctly. And it seems that both teams are gonna be opting to run a brawl comp.
Well, heading into Control Center, Brawl, the name of the game, as always on this map, COG0 opting for a Sim Junk. For Hennessy's Hunting Ground, Azalea is on his signature Doomfist, the hero he played primarily during the World Cup 2 years ago. Let's see if he still has that flash that he has once. A punch comes in, already forces Leonopteris to take care of his positioning, but the immortality from Delph has already been fought. But Minju on Desire, the off tank, the leader of Hennessy's Hunting Ground, has gained a pick. Mihawk is so low right now, gets finished off by Azalea as Desire is just trying to poke and get any kills he can on the McCree, as first point control will hit over in favor of Hennessy's Hunting Ground. The fight is not yet over because COG0 are now rushing back to his point, and they punish and expose Minju on the sidelines. Leonopteryx so low right now, it's up to TK to punish him, and also he needs to shoot a high noon, but maybe not because Jin on the Junkrat takes Desire down.
COG0 taking back the point with quite relative ease there, but with the Rhine Orisa, they're not gonna be able to run in as much as Hennessy's Hunting Grounds is compared due to the Zarya that they're running. So they're gonna be need to focus on holding space instead of just rushing into them downright.
Yeah, walking in, they need to face Jin's Riptire, but they're just rushing in fast before Jin can even pull it out. Early application matrix from Delver provide the space they need, but there's a daily Riptire without the immortality. Tab 2 is already down from Hennessy's hunting ground as the fight has been opened up from Jin's Junkrat. Azalea trying to clutch this out, actually managed to get Nivis and another one now with Nozzle down. Azalea has turned the fight around for Hennessy's hunting ground.
Oh, the Sim turret's coming in deadly right there.
Mihawk catches 3 somehow or another with both his turrets and his primary fire. Only 2 people left on the point for Hennessy's hunting ground, and it's up to Rimu to stall. He commits the sound bear as the tanks are coming back from the respawn, rushing in, forcing Hennessy's back to the spawn. Good plays from Azalea and TTK, but at the end of the day, it's not enough to prevent the rush back from COG0.
And COG0 just able to dominate right here, but the Graph comes in from Hennessy's hunting grounds and didn't really help them out here. Quite unfortunate.
Weird graph, and that actually resulted Azalea also falls. Interesting Graviton Surge didn't really accomplish much, and COG0 are looking to push in the Supercharger, and the pick is what they have gotten already.
COG0, oh my goodness.
TTK just turned that fight around. There were a few men down, but TTK with the Earth Shatter brings everyone on COG0 on the floor, leaving his team to just clean up so easy in the team wipe.
COG0 playing a little too haphazardly there. They should not have chased them right there into that little room, and that caused them the entirety of their team just to get shattered. But let's see what they do now, as they do have the Shatter and the Riptire on their disposal.
Azalea looking to punch someone into death as he does that to Mihawk. But TTK is on the ground right now. Azalea, the DPS side from Hennessy's hunting ground, getting the picks that respectively. As it's just 3 right now for COG0. Leon Notorix is in a really bad position right now and gets punished down. So it seems like Hennessy's hunting ground is evening out the percentages in control center.
Alright, Hennessy's hunting grounds finally putting up quite a fight against what COG0 had on the table. With not that many ults on COG0's side, they really need to make something happen here, but with a pull window fire strike, that might just be the thing that they need to win the fight right here.
Let's see whether COG0 can execute it off. The fire strike already goes down but doesn't really catch anything. Huge graph coming out from Minju along with the meter strike from Azalea just finishes off COG0, and at the final moment, even with such an advantage COG0 held, it seems at the end of the day, control centers will be the hunting ground for Hennessy's as they take the round. Now what do you think the name Hennessy's hunting ground even mean?
I think Hennessy's is the is an alternate account of one of the team members.
Pretty sure it's a Maple Story character, right?
Is it?
Maybe it's just, I think it's like something to do with the Maple Story game.
I'm too young to have played Maple Story.
Yeah, me too, but I mean the logo is the mushroom, right? So who knows?
Oh,
but
yeah.
coming into this map, Gardens swaps from both sides. Interesting composition from both sides, opting back to the Winston. What do you think of both comps over Shake?
I think Hennessy's hunting grounds is looking to try and isolate COG0 and distract while the DPSs are ready to follow up with the distractions, while COG0 is looking for a more sustainable fight, and they're looking to have more pressure rather than distractions.
Yeah, the composition that was seen primarily in the Overwatch League 2020 playoffs, and Minju already gets a pick onto Leon Nautilix. Good boop there from Shadow Little will just finish the fight so quickly for his team. COG0 cannot do anything, and Hennessy's hunting ground will be getting first control of Gardens.
COG0 not looking as confident as before, and Hennessy's hunting grounds putting up quite a fight, quite a challenge for COG0 as COG0 makes their way onto the White Room.
Okay, it seems that from chat, Hennessy's hunting ground is a Maple Story map. So someone is a little bit angry in the chat for us not knowing. I'm really sorry, but speaking of that, Jin gets booped down by Shadow Litten. Just falls to the abyss. And Delph on the Moira just healing everyone up so healthy. And without the pressure from Jin, Hennessy's Hunting Ground has so much space to do everything they need to do, and Desire gets a kill onto Mihawk.
Zero not really making that much use off of their Brigitte, and that just allows Hennessy's Hunting Grounds just to run through COG Zero's comp.
And
With
Nozzle
Azalea-
actually swaps to the Diva.
With Azalea with the EMP, such a strong ultimate that can change fights. Delph early on with a Coalescence.
Coalescence, Azalea looking for opportunity to the EMP, maybe he doesn't even need it, but he can't even use it anymore because he's dead. As Mihawk gets a kill onto TPK, Desperation Self-Destruct actually gets Vinju, but Shadowton is so low right now, commits the beat is over. Mihawk trying to do his best, it's a 3v3 on the fight right now, but Mihawk still has his ultimates, but he gets hacked up, he cannot use his ultimate at all as TTK kills him off.
Oh, very messy fight coming in right here. So many ults just down the drain. Jin used the pulse bomb, unfortunately. And COG Zero not quite able to cap the point despite the ults that they used.
And Hennessy's Hunting Ground still has Azalea's EMP for whenever they may choose to use it, which is exactly this moment. TTK just cleaving onto the rest of the backline. Right now he still has the Pyro Rage if he even needs it. But with how the fight is looking to play out, I think this is over for COG Zero, as Hennessy's Hunting Ground will probably take the first map.
Bomb coming in from Nozzle, not really catching anything, and it seems that Hennessy's Hunting Grounds is just able to clean up the side of Lijiang Tower, and they will take this map with 2 and 1.
Yeah, Hennessy's Hunting Ground looking a little bit shaky on the first stage, but really clutching it back up on the next two. And here you see TTK's probably his shatter that clinched them the first fight win on Control Center. Yeah, really huge shatter that changed the whole momentum of the whole map actually. This is probably the fight that led them to take momentum and win the map as a whole.
Indeed, a huge shatter coming in, and what I saw from that game was that COG Zero's tanks were just doing so much work on Lijiang Night Market, but they weren't showing the same amount of prowess on the other two maps. And I think that Hennessy's Hunting Grounds just took advantage of that, and Hennessy's Hunting Grounds was just able to take the win right there.
Yeah, really back and forth game. Not so much on the last and the first, but Control Center was really close. It seems like a lot of compositional differences from both teams. Do you think that's down to their playstyle differences that they have, Overshake?
I think that not really quite playstyle differences, but a few situational mistakes that were coming in from some of the players, and people were getting picked off when they shouldn't have been, and there's never a time where you should get picked off, but people are getting picked off, and that really caused the rhythm of COG Zero to be broken. From Lijiang Night Market, they were looking like they were invincible, but as the other two maps went on, they weren't really able to show that the much control that they were able to on Night Market.
Yeah, definitely. And at the end of the day, TDK's Winston proving to be superior for his team's needs. And yeah. And Azalea himself, after coming back from such a long break of competitive play, showing that he's still pretty good after all, especially on the Sombra and the Doomfist.
Indeed, Azalea has been grinding competitive for quite a bit actually, ever since his return, and it's fun to see him back on the servers again, I have to say. Alright, it seems that we can be going on for a 1-minute break, and we'll stay tuned and we'll be back in a while.
map starting soon. Oh, never mind. Well, it seems like we are back. Overshake has a plushie in his hand.
Yeah, I got this for $30 in IKEA. You know, it's a bit lonely sitting at the chair alone for like 3 hours straight, so I'll just be having this on me for the rest of the stream.
Let's see if you stick to your words. But Hennessy's hunting ground 1-0 up against COG 0. And looking to the second map, do you think COG 0 should make any roster swaps?
I'm not sure whether or not the roster swap. I'm not sure if it should be dependent on the roster swaps really. They did look stronger with Daisy and Jin on the roster, I would say. But this is not really I don't think this is really a roster thing really. I think the team I think it's a team effort, and the team really should figure out what they're doing wrong, and they should really look to correct it.
Yeah, and certainly it will be down to the maps as we take a look to our map pool for the second map. Hybrid as always, Icon Wall. What do you think we'll be looking for in this map, Overshake?
I think that we're gonna be seeing some brawl. If not, we're gonna be seeing double bubble. Due to the fact that on second point, high ground is just such a staple of Eichenwald. But no, the first point of Eichenwald really is that choke point, and who takes good control of the choke point. And the third map really is just, hey, you're gonna need to play Junkrat for me, buddy.
Well, certainly we should be going in the game soon if there are no issues that arise. Wondering what roster COG0 will be pulling out on the second map. Will Daisy come in for his Tracer? Can't wait to see. But on the other side, the DPS side of Hennessy's hunting ground showing that it has what it takes, especially the tank line. And I know that Minju has suddenly been grinding rank a lot lately, just waiting for any opportunity to prove himself. And his shot calling ability is also quite good.
Indeed. As we look at the beautiful map of Eichenwald. Man, I remember when this map was released, and I still didn't own the game.
So basically you don't remember because you weren't even playing the game.
No, I remember because I was watching a YouTube video on it. But yeah, as I mentioned, double bubble coming in from Connect Gaming and a Monkey Diva Reaper Sombra comp, a flashback towards a meta quite a bit
A few months ago,
Ace.
yeah.
a
During
few
the
months ago.
Overwatch League playoffs, but eventually got phased out after a while. But I think it still can work. I've been watching like Korean contenders sometimes, and a lot of teams are still playing this competition on some maps. So let's see whether Hennessy's hunting ground can make it work over here. They will be on the defense to start things out as COG0 looking no roster substitutions at all. Still Mihawk on the Echo and Jin on the Tracer.
Indeed, and the Echo without the Mercy again. This is an Echo without a Mercy is definitely
even
hard
a
to run,
Zen.
but it's not impossible. Yeah, not even.
Yeah,
a
but
Zen.
usually you're running for Zen, right? And it seems like the collapse is already there from the side of Hennessy's hunting ground. But somehow another COG0 gets 3 picks their own way. And Hennessy's hunting ground tried to beat the aggressors, but will be the ones who need to run back first.
Or maybe
Shadow-
you spoke too soon, as the only 2 members of COG0 that are alive right now is being
someone's on the
Mihawk
point.
and Nevis. But yeah, a take getting capped. Quite a messy fight coming in from Hennessy's hunting ground side.
TKK just at the choke, he doesn't even have any support. I wonder what he's trying to pull. But COG0 does manage to get a take. And Hennessy's hunting ground are somewhat stabilizing on the point. They have 4 members on the point currently. Not really building up to any outs, and COG0 at a huge advantage here. If they can take down Leonotorix right here, maybe they'll close that advantage. But TTK already falls. And I don't know whether Azalea's DMAC can help his team win this fight. And Jin right now on the Tracer just killing off Delph. But Desire gets 3 of his own and he actually has this out soon. So maybe this is the time for Hennessy's hunting ground to clutch it back. And with a Diva Bomb coming up, clearing the space on the point, the EMP to follow. I think this is where we'll see the Death Blossom. Doesn't really get anything, but it's enough to stall back COG0 for some time.
A lot of blows coming back and forth, really on the edge of our seats, trying to figure out who will win this fight. A nice little anti coming in onto Tuataoke.
But Delph closing in on the Coalescence, and here he goes. Popsy already both support outs committed from the side of Hennessy's hunting ground. Mihawk transforms over to the D.Va to try to give his team more pew, but it can't really work out because two members from his team's already fall, make that 3, as Hennessy's hunting ground somehow after Messi's fight does stabilize and push Connect Zero back.
Indeed, COG Zero, really unable to figure out what they need to do, as the fight just being so messy and the target focusing being a little off as Nozzle takes a quick reset to get this mecha back. And yeah, Hennessy's hunting grounds with Desire on Reaper really able to have a steady little rally point to stand around on.
Yeah, Desire, an up-and-coming player you have mentioned from Singapore. Seems like what can he do with his Death Blossom, showing a lot of hero picks that he can play. As they are looking for an early hack on the D.Va, there's the defense matrix gone, and that's the Death Blossom going out from Desire. Just catches the mech, but that will probably be enough for Hennessy's ground. Nice stick on the Tracer.
You see that one tap on the Tracer? Good god.
And it seems like last fight territory here for COG Zero. What do you think they need to do? There's a nice slip on Azalea, but the defense matrix is there from Loomies, but he might have just got himself caught out.
Minju losing his mech at such a crucial time. This might just be the thing that COG Zero needs to push through with an EMP coming in.
But the EMP is there to stop the push from COG Zero, and Jin falls to the baby D.Va. They are trying to sustain his team as much as possible, but Desire falls. It's still anyone's game at this point as Minju regains his mech. Delph is so close for his Coalescence, he needs to build this up quick and fire it immediately. But he falls before that from Leonopterix. Bomb comes out from Minju, only catches the opponent mech. It seems like at the final moment, at the final second, COG Zero will be able to cap first point, and it will not be a full hold. They just need to finish off all these straggling targets, and that'll be it, as COG Zero will cap the first point in overtime.
That D-Mech at the start of the last fight really helped COG Zero push through what Hennessy's hunting grounds had for them with Reimu. Wow, a nice little whip shot onto Azalea right there. That is gonna be so crucial, as he really needs to build that EMP in order to fight off COG Zero as fast as they can.
Yeah, and Delph Coalescence at the ready right here. Really good engagement too for this composition, but a nice anti on Minju. Only catches one, however. Maybe it's not as huge as he wanted, but the beam from Mihawk catches the support out off guard. But a D-Mac from Nozzle will give Desire full reign with his Death Blossom, nothing to protect against it. Just playing it slow, both teams right now. Desire TPs back up onto higher ground, and Minju catches Leonopterix.
Indeed, it seems that Hennessy's hunting grounds really wants to take this as slow as they can, and they do make their maneuver over the point, and COG Zero just has to hold off just enough so that Leonopter comes.
The bomb and sound barrier to engage to push through the momentum from Hennessy's hunt ground, allowing Azalea enough time to build his EMP. And the EMP Death Blossom, the classic combo that for this composition has been out, catches only the mech, and Mihawk with his own copied Death Blossom is trying to push the payload.
Not really something that Hennessy's hunting grounds was looking out for. They really wanted to do that EMP Death Blossom combo, but unfortunately it didn't catch the Brigida, and the Shield Bash cancelled the Reaper ult. And Hennessy's hunting grounds just getting staggered. This is definitely not what you want to see at such a pivotal point of the team fight right here on second point. With only 30 seconds on the clock, can Hennessy's grounds make the difference?
And Desire swaps over to the Tracer, realizes that with the Reaper he can't really capitalize on the mobile targets of COG Zero. Nice hack will prevent the engage from Nozzle. Delph with the Coalescence trying to engage with his team. But COG Zero still has many ultimates in their arsenal. Good hack onto Leonopterix punishes him. That's the main tank down for COG Zero. As he's 10 seconds left on the board. COG Zero needs to get some kills here, needs to make something work. If not, they'll be looking at a hold on second point.
Indeed, as Shadow Luna makes quick work of Nozzle with that sound barrier to help out the team to sustain out through the last fight. And it's just
Desire.
shooting range for Desire right here.
Desire just finished everything off on the Tracer and gets 4 clean-up kills. Quick and decisive is this composition from Hennessy's Hunting Ground, holding them at second point.
Jin with a 2-man pulse bomb wasn't really able to make that big of a difference at the end, as Desire just guns down 4 people relentlessly. And man, the coordination that Hennessy's Hunting Grounds here really is just really beautiful to see how they can just utilize their teammates to the fullest and just share resources with one another.
As some people call the composition Hennessy's Hunting Ground somewhat like goats, really relying on your team to stack up together. It seems like it's working well for Hennessy's Hunting Ground so far. And COG Zero had some shining moments when they kept first point, but when they went to second point, they couldn't really do anything much, even with Mihawk's Echo.
Indeed, with Azalea just being able to build up that EMP in such a pivotal time where Hennessy's Hunting Grounds needs it the most, it really just stops COG Zero on his tracks and just able to stall out the fights for so long.
Seems like if it's been working well, no need to change it because Hennessy's Hunting Ground are going with the same bulk composition they've been playing. But it seems TTK wants to try something different actually. Let's see what they go out with, because I don't think they haven't finished swapping, and it seems like, never mind, we got Jabeda, they're just still playing the same Tracer Sombra composition.
Indeed, as Hennessy's Hunting Grounds makes a quick maneuver onto the point. Zelia trying to build that EMP as fast as he can.
EMP a really fight shunting ultimate in the Overwatch hero pool. Both teams just playing it slow, waiting for Azalea and Desire to set up, and Desire goes up onto high ground, forcing some members from COG Zero back to Pew for their backline. And a take has already been gotten for Hennessy's Hunting Ground as Minju is trying to zone the rest of COG Zero off, but Delph and Desire are solo right now. With TTK being anti, it's not looking that good for COG Zero. Desire trying to turn the fight around for his team, catches Mihawk, and now looking for Jin. And with Shadow Litton getting the kill on Leonotrix, I think this is already over as Hennessy's Hunting Ground will be winning the fight.
Desire, even though he wasn't able to get a kill off of Jin on the Kree, he was able to stall him off long enough so that the rest of the Hennessy's Hunting Grounds members was just able to follow up on what on the remaining members of COG Zero with a lack of DPS due to Jin being distracted onto Desire. And Azalea with the EMP, Delph with the Coalescence, Minju on the bomb. They're really looking to make something happen here with all these ults in their economy.
Yeah, it seems like one fight win can probably push them to a map win and a series win. In fact, Azalea's EMP only catches Nozzle, maybe not the perfect EMP he was hoping for, but a bomb from Minju does the job done. Jin returns the trade onto Delph, but Azalea catches Leonotrix, and Mihawk being solo dies to the Baby Diva. Still back and forth right now. Maybe not so much because TTK is just disrupting everyone in the back line as Nozzle takes a dip into the waters.
That pulse bomb almost catching Jin right there would have really been an unfortunate stagger for COG Zero side. COG Zero on a last ditch attempt, really trying to group up and make quick work of Hennessy's Hunting Grounds, but Hennessy's Hunting Grounds with the sound barrier, and they just rushing into them right now as Hennessy's Hunting Grounds just caps the point.
TTK on the front line catches 2, and someone needs to take care of the point because if they do not, they could just lose this series right here, right now. Bomb from Nozzle doesn't get anything done and just rushing, trying to contest the point as much as he can. Mihawk is hacked up, he can't use his complete primal rage and he just falls to Desire, cleaning up everybody as Hennessy's Hunting Ground will be taking the series over Connect Gaming 0 on Iconwalk 2-0.
A quick 2-0 for Hennessy's Hunting Grounds, winning this series right here as Desire just relentlessly popping heads with the Tracer. This guy has been making such quick work of COG Zero. Just look at him go.
Yeah, and he was on no one's radar just a month ago, and now people are talking about his name. A really good DPS coming up into the scene. Really good to see such up and coming players, especially on the ranked ladder. And COG 0 face down the 0-2, but it's down to their last game whether they'll be eliminated or not. Speaking of which, good place to Hennessy's hunting ground. Who do you think was the key player there?
I think that Desire showing both prowess on his Reaper and Tracer, he was really the golden boy of Hennessy's hunting grounds right there. Azalea also can't be looked down on. He was building EMPs and he had them whenever his team needed it the most. But Desire really just made COG 0 cower in fear, and you know, having a strong player like him is just really crucial in securing a victory.
Yeah, and we will be discussing more about this match in our post-match discussion. So we'll be heading to a short break before coming back with our post-match discussion.
And hello, welcome back. As you can see, I'm back from the Shadow Realm that the producer threw me into. And that was quite an exciting match. Obviously, we just saw Hennessy's HG or Hennessy's hunting take Zero, COG Zero, and took a 2-1 victory. Now, let's just go back to our casters, guys. I think we have a very important question to ask, which is. Hello?
Hi.
Hi guys. Hi.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hi. Well, I'm sorry. Sometimes you get laggy. Sometimes, as you can see, I'm extremely laggy. But I think the really important question to ask right now, I think everyone wants to know is TCK not washed up?
Well, you were the one who said he was washed up in the first place. Wasn't really us. We said he was good, but
I mean, but that's not what friends we banter a lot. But speaking of TTK, how do you think TTK's his abilities as a tank, I think his monkey, especially in the first round of Busan, do you think they're stacked up against CUG's tank?
Well, I mean, TTK is not really known for his Winston, right? He's more of known as like a Rhine player. His monkey on his peak, it wasn't like on a god tier level, but it was still something you could rely on. And right now, his performance in Hennessy's Hunting Grounds definitely isn't too bad. And I think, yeah, his monkey is decent, but definitely it wasn't as good as it was last time.
Well, I mean, I'm just glad you're saying good things about TTK, or else you might, end up on the list.
Yeah, I'll get cancelled. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all gonna get cancelled here. But yeah, speaking of Busan as well, like we saw COG Zero come up with sort of unconventional strat of playing Sim and Junk for a little bit, and if it worked for a little while and then it didn't. Was it really the right call to be running a comp like this?
Well, if a comp doesn't work out, it either means that you're playing it wrongly or the comp is just worse than the other comp. So, and most of the times it's just the team playing badly into it. But, yeah, if a Sim Junkrat composition is most likely, you want to force them into a corner where they take as much damage as they possibly can, and you're kind of holding the space while you wait for them to kind of walk into you. But it's basically just to like pressure to keep as much pressure as you can on the enemy front line and back line, so that they can't just rush into you, right? Now what Connect Gaming Zero, what they did was a bit, I wouldn't say it was the best way to play that comp. So they should have been way more patient instead of just rushing into them. I feel that the fights would have been way cleaner if they drew the fight as long as they could.
Right. And okay, speaking of just the last part about in general, is that we saw Mihawk get swapped in. I mean, or just stay into the team in both games. Was it really the right call?
well, I think they wanted to put him out on the Echo because after the first match, maybe they re-evaluated the game plan. They wanted to play Echo, and perhaps Mihawk was their best Echo player on the team, but didn't really work out too well for them. But it's okay because they still have one more match. I mean, they still have one more match later on, and yeah, I think after a while they'll probably realize what's the best composition for them and what's the best lineup. So yeah.
Right, and speaking of Hennessy, let's just talk back to Hennessy's real quick. We saw them do quite well on Eichenwald as well. Do you think Azalea was like the key factor? Like Azalea's Sombra was a key part of why they took the match?
Definitely. I think that even though I think that Azalea was opening a lot of angles, he was distracting the correct people that allowed the team to follow up. Like Sombra obviously does not have enough damage to like chase for kills compared to like a Tracer, so to say, but she can definitely make people look at her so that that the person that is looking at the Sombra does not shoot at the other people at the team. So that is also a very important factor, and I think Azalea was a perfect distracting enough people while being able to farm EMP and hitting those EMPs when it mattered the most.
Right, then Ark says, like, who do you think had the better tracer, Desire or Jin? And should they maybe have swapped in Daisy instead?
Actually, I think that the Tracer, I think they both did fine, but what Desire could do was that on the Reaper he recognized, it was a really smart decision that he recognized that he couldn't, as a Reaper, he couldn't really capitalize on the mobile targets of Jin and Mihawk, and because they're not mirroring the comp, he chose to go on the Tracer, and Jin had some pop-off moments, but at the end of the day, Desire was also really good at cleaning up for his team on the Tracer.
Right, and do you think they should have swapped in Daisy instead of Jin?
Well, not to put Jin down, but certainly because in the first match we saw Daisy had really good pop-off moments on Tracer, and he was able to just clean entire backlines on the Tracer, and Jin, I can't really see that from him, and yeah, I think Daisy would be the more better Tracer from what we've seen.
Right, and obviously we saw towards the end, especially towards the end of World on Hennessy's push, they really got to the point really quickly. Their attack, they were just dominant over the entire match for the most part. How did they do that? How were they always so consistent with being dominant?
Well, they just understand the flow of the game, really. I think that because they have been playing for a very long time, and they're pretty much veterans at this game, and I think that the ability to keep composure under stress, while the ability to know what to do during certain situations, I think that's what really makes Hennessy's Hunting Grounds a very strong team.
Right, do you think it was it's kind of a, in a sense, it's not just the skill level of a player, but also the level of experience? TOGs are technically an academy team, if I'm not mistaken, right? In a sense, right? And you have players like from Hennessy's who could be a little more experienced. I know TK as kind of a coach personally, and as you said, like Zayla has been a player on Team Singapore. Do you think that's like a major factor that really got them the win?
Not necessarily. As much as player experience is very important, I think that experience does not beat skill and knowledge. And like, if you have experience playing in the highest tiers, right? Of course, there is accumulated experience. Your exposure of playing against very high tier, very like people that played in the professional scene, basically. But you can pretty much experience that in comp as well. So I don't really think that experience is such an important part of defining a player's quality, but it also, it also shouldn't be underlooked as well.
Right, and Ark says, who is a player that from this series that you really want to point out, like you really want to shine the highlight to?
Definitely Minju, or also known as Osaria. I think he really did a good job pitting for his team on the off tank, and I think he was able to lead his team full of some rookie players like Shadow Litten and Desire, who didn't really have any much team experience coming to this tournament, and he's one of the more recently people with more recent experience playing the Overwatch Ace recently. And I think he was able to do a good job leading his team, and of course his off-tank play was also good.
And how about you, Shakes? Do you have anyone you really want to point out today?
I think that I've highlighted him enough times, but it's Desire once again. I think that he truly is a hidden gem. Even though he doesn't really hit the rank queues that much, I've seen him absolutely destroy some games, and he's also quite a nice guy. So
right, and do you think we'll be seeing Hennessy's kind of make it into the final? They obviously just taken out COG. Do you think you'll be seeing them in the finals?
Definitely, because right now they're 2-0 up, and I think they will probably win the next match. And I think they're one of the favorites. It's going to be either I think it's a three-man race between COG, J. Colbert, and Hennessy's Hunting Ground right now to reach the finals.
Right, and personally, who do you want to see on top?
Also, I think I would like to see. Also, Connect Gaming has been really working hard for not just this tournament, but in general. They even made Korean Contenders Korea trial, and a lot of these players are like the so-called newer generation Japanese players. And I would like to see their hard work pay off because I know they've been working really hard.
Right, and speaking of Connect Gaming, we are going to be seeing Connect Gaming versus Indomie Gang. Right after this, we just have obviously just went through our two other schedules earlier, and so we will be going to Connect Gaming and Indomie Gang, and we'll be really exciting. It'll be really exciting to see who takes the cake. I think some of us, as much as we do talk about Connect Gaming, we talk about about how good they are, and especially how dominant they've been in the past. I think we kind of might know who might win this matchup, but it's always a surprise with these matches. So, what do you think about this next matchup?
I think Connect Gaming is certainly the heavy favorites here. Indomie Gang, they have led by Chen Di, a pretty decent flex support player in his own right, but I don't know whether the rest of his team will be up to par with the caliber of players on Connect Gaming.
Right,
I also agree with that statement. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, Connect Gaming has had a lot of time in the tournament scene and stuff like that as well. What do you think Indomie is going to need to do to really try to get the win?
Well, and Indomie. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. Indomie Gang coming in with a W here is quite far fetched. But if they really want to show Connect Gaming, then I think they should opt for one of those poke compositions, because I do know that Chun-Li, a very competent Zen player, and also there are Mercy players in Indomie Gang, so I think they should use that to their strong suit.
Right.
But honestly, I can't say I can see Indomie Gang coming out victorious here.
And with that, I think we'll go to a quick break, and we'll be back with our next match. Not that quick, but yes, a break. And we are back. Welcome back to the PACommunity Rivals Group Stage Day 2. I just had my producer shouting in my ear, being excited as hell. So I want you guys to give a big shout out to Fraudy, our producer, because he is extremely tired and I think he deserves a shout out. And with that, let's just go back to our casters. Is this exciting enough for you, Fraudy? I hope this is exciting for you. Are you guys excited? Are you guys excited for more games? Let's go, yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah, so I mean, okay, first of all, how hungry does Indomie Gang's logo make you? I think that's a really important question right now.
Not really. That just looks like a stock image, dude. It's not really the most appetizing image they could have found. It's literally look. If you look at the logo, the sides of the plate are cut, so it's not even a whole circle of a plate.
And I don't really like peas in Indomie. I think that's kind of.
Those aren't.
There are green peas in the Indomie. Yeah. And it's I don't know. I don't really like it, but well. Hopefully they put up that spice, you know. Hopefully they bring some spice against Connect Gaming.
but speaking Indomie, like obviously. but 1 second. I think I'm lagging it.
I think the hair is too shiny, man.
Yeah, I think it's deflecting your 5G waves.
Yeah.
Well,
it seems like we're in a stalemate here due to Veteran's hair being too shiny for his internet to handle.
True.
But it seems like, well, he's going on a connection reset, it'll just be us two. So, Connect Gaming versus Indomie Gang. Connect Gaming is one of the heavy favorites going in this tournament. They have a really good roster full of experienced players. But guess what? They just took a loss, an 0-2 loss to J. Colbert just now. So how do you think they'll be feeling heading into this match?
I think that maybe they might look at Indomie Gang as an easy win, and they might have their guard down, and this is when Indomie Gang hits them back with that curry spice. And I think honestly, I think that they're still gonna have their confidence against Indomie Gang.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see Nico back on the broadcast again. Really impressed everyone in Overwatch Ace with his stellar Tracer play. And on the side of Indomie Gang, there is also one player that stands out among the rest, and that's among this full Indonesian roster, which is actually the only Indonesian team we have in this tournament, Chun-Li is their captain and probably going to be their carry. He's a flag support player that played for Banana Bava in the Overwatch Ace.
A banana
As his
bava.
ex-teammate, how do you think he will stack up against the likes of Liz on Connect Gaming?
Well, Chun-Li and Liz, they both do grind KR ranked, and I definitely think that I think that both of them are very, very competent players, and I can't really say for sure which one is better than which, since I also have not seen Liz shine, and I know
Yeah.
that Chun-Li is a very confident player. He knows his stuff as his former teammate, and I really love his sexy hair. I don't know if he
I think
keeps
he
it
cut
long
it.
still. Did he
But
cut
you know
it?
what?
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Al's hair is pretty smexy. Venomance is back with his hair.
Yeah, I
But he somehow
apologize.
changed.
I apologize that sometimes the internet cuts out. I don't know what's wrong with my internet today, but yeah, I think I'm not quite sure where you guys left off. Yeah, how do you think? So I guess we kind of jump right into it, right? We were kind of talking about Indomie earlier. What do you think they're gonna? I think we all look at Connect Gaming and we think they're probably gonna win, right? I think that's a prediction that we all can kind of concur. What do you think Indomie can do to not lose? I guess.
I think at this point, hold on, let me check. I think Indomie. I think I don't know what the score for the previous game, but I think they're just going to this. They probably know that they are at a severe disadvantage here. They're just trying to play spoiler to Connect Gaming's perfect record. Actually, not so much perfect record because they did lose to Jacob, but I think Indomie is just trying to do as much damage as they try to Connect Gaming.
Right, and with that, just how do you think they're feeling? How do you think Indomie gang is really feeling going up against Connect Gaming? Someone who's so established, a team that's so established.
I think Indomie Gang is definitely going to be very nervous against such a powerhouse team like Connect Gaming, but definitely not a reason for them to, intentionally throw the match. I think that they're still going to be coming out strong as ever, and they're still going to try their best and put up a good show.
Yeah, and with that, we did see COG0 earlier, but let's just look at the actual roster for the for both teams, for both Connect Gaming and Indomie. Let's just take a look at Connect Gaming. So they are academy-ish team, I guess. And so let's look at their main team. What are you looking at?
One of the most star-studded rosters coming into this tournament. KSG Ars, a really stable tank line, one of the best tank line in the region. Nico, a new addition in Lapin since the Overwatch Ace, and a new back line since then, Mint and Liz. And Mint and Lapin, coming in from a really experienced team, actually joined Connect Gaming late last year, and I think they've been really grinding it out, and this is a really, really scary paper on roster. Every player on this team is really scary on their own right.
And I like how you said paper on roster rather than roster on paper. But yeah, it seems like this team is really stacked. What do you think? Do you think? And who are we really looking out for in this match, like particularly?
I think Nico and Ask have definitely showed their prowess as not as the individual characters that they play, but just as players in general. They're absolute mechanical prodigies, and their sheer understanding of the game just outmatches a lot of the people that have signed up for this tournament. So do keep a lookout for these two star players.
All right, and with that, let's just take a quick look at Indomie Gang's roster and see what are we looking at on this side? Do we see any familiar names? Is it familiar faces?
A lot of players that aren't really that experienced in the Indonesian side of things. Zekrom, Karyoy, and the Flame Broccoli, Habs Chun, and Chun-Li. But as we mentioned before, a player that really stands out is Chun-Li, a flex support player who has experience from the Overwatch Ace tournament and probably the shot caller and the leader of this team.
Right, and we see a little bit of crisscrossing with a lot of the Overwatch Ace players. how well do you think these these roles stack up against Connect Gaming's? Obviously, Connect Gaming's would be a little bit of a higher tier, I guess you could say. But do you think any of these particular players would stand a chance, like going 1-to-1 with their respective role oppositions?
Definitely, the player that is most up to the challenge is Chun-Li, with hitting peak 4.4k in Korea servers. I think he is a very competent, very confident support player.
But another interesting player is Zekrom. He's a tank player, somewhat of a ball one trick, but he's actually been living in Japan for quite some time, and actually yesterday he wasn't able to play because he was flying back from Japan to Indonesia, and now when he's back in the roster, I'm excited to see what he can do, bring that experience over, and I'm pretty sure he was playing in some local small Japanese teams during his stay in Japan, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the table for this Indomie roster.
Well, I mean, okay. So with Zach, I mean, we see Zekrom, having lived in Japan. Do you think there's going to be a little bit of banter between Zekrom and maybe some of the Connect Gaming guys, since they all maybe do speak, Japanese?
I don't know, man. Japanese people seem like the sort of people who are like friendly but serious and don't really go for those type of banter. But we'll see.
Yeah, and with that, I think we should go on to our matches. So I'll throw it on to you, casters. Thank you.
Yeah, and Overshake. I think you should
yeah.
stop smelling your shark and
Sorry,
focus
there's like
on
a-
the game.
There's like a brown patch, so I'm wearing a white shirt, so I'm wondering where that came from. Now I won't hug the shark anymore, and I'll get on the matches. Is there anything on my shirt?
But
Alright, okay.
Indomie Gang is coming into this match at a really huge disadvantage. But let's see where the game will take them to as we take a look at our map pool for the final match of today.
Well, everyone does love a good underdog story, and maybe Nepal might just be the correct grounds for that. Now, Nepal, quite a brawling map, as I've established yesterday. Besides from Nepal Sanctum being a very wide map and a map where usually the person that wins the Ash duels is the victor of the team fights.
Yeah, and certainly the Ash duel or the DPS duel, I think this is heavily stacked against Broccoli and the Flames, because on the other side they have Nico and Lapin, two really experienced Japanese players who have been playing the scene since years ago.
Yep.
What do you think that Indomie Gang needs to do to take up the challenge of these two DPS players from Connect Gaming?
Maybe I think Indomie Gang needs to go through some serious meditation under a very cold river, because
they need to do that training up, like
yeah.
1 minute before the match, then you go through the whole training up.
Like I've seen like a documentary about Shaolin monks, how they punch bags of iron nails to strengthen their hands so that they become so that when they strike hard objects, it doesn't hurt at all. But I think that Indomie Gang needs to go through that type of training in order to beat such a monopoly of a team like Connect Gaming.
Well, there's certainly a map that is perfect for meditation and for monks. It's Nepal, because this is the home of the some monastery. I don't know the law, just
The
some
Zenyatas.
monastery for the monks. Yeah, Zenyatas training and training his disciples like Genji over here, and going in rosters all locked up. Zekrom on his signature ball, Chun-Li on the Zen. We all know him, but on the other side, Connect Gaming is playing a composition that is the really traditional rush comp.
Indeed, and not a lot of high tier teams are seen to run their brawl comps, but it seems that Connect Gaming is here to prove that wrong, and they decide to opt for a classic brawl comp. While Indomie Gang running a Zarya ball and a Zen Mercy with a Genji McCree. Now, a Genji without an Ana is going to be quite hard to pull off here.
Yeah, interesting to note that Harp's Chun Machin is a Mercy one trick of herself. And Zekrom already rolling in on the ball. Barber getting give up by Cardi. But the rush already comes in, and he's just so quick to collapse on the side of Mint and the rest of his team. Lapin catches 2 and Chun-Li is the next one to fall, and Blink and 9, the fight is already over. Connect Gaming, the discipline and the knowledge of this comp, quick to kill off Indomie Gang.
Mint really just going for the kill with the speed boost, and his teammates not letting him down and following up with it. Man, it's just so satisfying to see a brawl comp executed correctly. And cheeky little high ground camp right there.
Seems like they all know where Indomie Gang is going to be coming from, and As Diva already catches 2. Both the supports coming from Indomie Gang is just all... Zekrom is just running away, he doesn't want any part of this.
They're just spamming question marks. And it seems that one of our observers actually forgot to put /hi chat. It's a bit funny.
Who do you think that was?
I think it's probably Ayako, because he's very old and
I
senile.
don't even think Ayako's observing today, but
Is he?
okay. I have no idea.
Well. Oh yeah,
But
he's in
aside from the action, ultimates are getting online and the flame building up to his Dragon Blade. Connect Gaming, they maybe doesn't have the tools to counter the Dragon Blade, but a good team player alone can do it. Zekrom going, trying to create all the space he can for his DPS to line up the kill feed, but the early amplification matrix from Liz will allow Nico to catch Broccoli off with the Deadeye, and the fight already over. Another fight is already over.
That speed boost high noon is just so intimidating, as it just looks like the McCree's doing the thriller while walking up to you. And yeah, as predicted, Connect Gaming kind of slamming Indomie Gang, I have to say. Quite unfortunate that this was the game that was going to be streamed, but with a Blade and a Valve on Indomie Gang's side, maybe something might happen.
Dragon Blade comes over and the flame already catches Min, and this is the Dragon Blade they've been waiting for, catches us, and the immortality field kinda low right now, but it doesn't matter because Indomie will be gaining control of the point and winning the fight. Seems like they have heard you and wants to prove you wrong, that they are here to contest and do some damage to Connect Gaming.
Indeed, and Indomie Gang just being able to win that point on 99% on the clock here with that Blade Valk, and Connect Gaming making their maneuver up over to the high ground, just trying to look for a potential pick right here with Lapin on the Blizzard.
Lapin, Nico both has their DPS out respectively, and the freeze on Ducati will allow Lapin to throw that whenever he wants. Walls up, the Diva Mag down, that's the Blizzard thrown in. Good pick onto Lapin to shut him down, but Mint says no, this is the momentum he has been building with his sound barrier, and they're collapsing onto the rest of Indomie Gang. High noon on Broccoli can't really do much because he's just shut down by As Diva.
Connect Gaming managing to cap the point here. Hubshin holding on to dear life to try and look for a potential res, but her efforts are seen to be futile, as the remaining members of Indomie Gang trying to grasp onto the last life bars that they have. Such a struggle trying to stand on the point, but Connect Gaming takes Nepal Shrine first point.
Well
with
played.
a 99 with 100 to 44.
Well played. You can tell that Connect Gaming, the execution of this rush comp is second to none, showing in that the scrim times have been paying off. But well played to Indomie Gang. There are some shining moments here and then. Definitely the Blade from Ender Flame that got the first win was quite good, if you ask me, giving Connect
Indeed.
Gaming a little bit of a challenge.
Indeed, and Connect Gaming opting for a Doomfist in such a wide map. Okay, well, I think I'm like a curse caster or something. Every time I say something, it happens to be the exact contrary. But a Lucio Brig composition, this is so rare. I've not seen a Lucio Brig comp in so long coming in from Connect Gaming side.
I think he's just speed boosting before swapping to the
Okay.
Zen. Yeah.
Alright, Indomie Gang though, on the Fair Mercy with a monkey ball. A little bit of experimentation on the comp here.
Chun-Li on the Ana needs to sustain both main tanks, and Broccoli on the Pharah just looking to poke anyone down, do any damage he can before Zekrom goes in to finish, but he's already so low due to the fact that Lapin on the Ash is just poking it down, denying him any space he wants on the Pharah. It seems like the fight hasn't really yet begun. No one has fallen from both team. Nico trying to contest the point, but that is the opener. Slapin takes down Broccoli. Dies on his own to Cardi, but Cardi is soon to fall due to the Discord op. Nice rest from Haas. Hubs on Broccoli as he's back in the fight as the Zekrom going for the slam. Takes Thunder going on the back line of Connect Gaming as they're both solo, and it seems like Indomie Gang has the advantage here as they take first control.
Indeed, that crucial pick on Lapin really allowed Hubshin to land that resurrect onto Broccoli, and he's just ruthless without an Ashe to stop him, and that really opened up a win for Indomie Gang here on the first point.
Yeah, and if a pick for Nico, Connect Gaming's life isn't getting any easier. But KSG is on the back right now, waiting for the opportunity to go into him. Nice anti-nade, catches us, but that may be enough, but Lapin says no. Nano comes down to Cardi, he's trying to go onto the back line. Doesn't see any opportunity to jump, just tries to play it safe. Anti comes down the tree. Zekrom needs to capitalize right now. Good anti from Chun-Li gives his team the opportunity to engage. As Broccoli right now in the skies, almost building up to a barrage. Also with Ender Flames. Dragon Blade. Just stalemate at this point. Hubshin needs to heal up Broccoli, but he doesn't as Broccoli falls. And the Flame almost has the Dragon Blade, but he doesn't have any opportunity to pull it out because the rest of his team has already fallen.
And Connect Gaming showing that they can get themselves out of a tight spot, but Indomie Gang putting up quite a good fight against Connect Gaming as the DPS ults are ready on their disposal with another Nano coming in very, very soon. I think we're gonna either see some Nano Blade or Nano Barrage action.
Maybe a Nano Barrage or a Blade to beta on else before using the Nano on the other ultimate. But KSG early engage and Mint already catches Hubshin's on the sideline. Indomie Gang, even with their ultimate advantage, are just forced back to retreat. Cardi's in the primary rage deep in the back line. What is Broccoli doing? He just commits the barrage just to die to Mint. At least he forces out the Transcendence, which gives them the opportunity to use the Nano Blade next fight. But really questionable there from Broccoli.
Questionable indeed, with Connect Gaming on the minefield along with the Pulse Bomb and the Diva Bombs, just ready for so much chaos to happen. But Nano Blade on Indomie Gang's disposal. Let's see if something can happen right here.
Chun-Li hovering over the Nano Boost, fails to sleep onto Nico, but oh no, Ender Flame is already down, and they just need to back out quickly to get another fight in.
Indomie Gang not really able to stabilize and take a full-on fight with the Nano Blade. They've been holding the Nano Blade for 3 fights. It's definitely something that you don't want with such a strong ultimate combo.
And Zekrom just might fall here, looking to give every pocket they can onto Ender Flame, even maybe the Valkyrie damage boost. That's the Valkyrie pop. Nano Blade, the Nano boost straight onto Min. One slash is enough to finish it off and looks for Liz. The backline has been cut down from the side of Ender Flame, and that's a good opening for Indomie Gang to finish the fight up.
Nice little right click on to Nico right there as Indomie Gang does cap the point with the Nano Blade and Val.
KSG still on the point, but he will probably fall, but before that he takes down Broccoli, and Indomie Gang finally stabilizes. Not many outs from both sides.
Indeed, it's really whoever wins a raw fight here is going to be determining who wins the map. And oh my god, a quick melt onto Cardi might just open things up for Connect Gaming.
That may have been a pivotal mistake for Cardi, just standing out open, getting discarded by Min. And even with the high noon from Broccoli, it's not enough to do any damage. He gets a kill onto Min, but someone needs to contest the point from the side of Indomie Gang. Good anti, but no one's on the point. Finally, someone steps on the point. As is so low, they need to kill him now, but he decides to activate his self-destruct, and no one touches the point, which means Connect Gaming, after a back and forth sanctum, wins out Nepal.
Indeed, the pincering movement of Lapin closing up on the Indomie Gang with the Ashe, just applying so much pressure, with Nico just able to finish off the low targets on the backline. just such a deadly combo that shouldn't be underlooked. And the correlation between the two is just what makes Connect Gaming such a strong team.
Yeah, but well played to Indomie Gang. They came in at a huge, on paper, disadvantage. But they had some star moments, and the Flame on his Nano Blade able to cleave through the backline, especially on that second last fight on Sanctum. Actually, Indomie Gang looks like they might have a chance here.
Indeed, with 99-99 on Nepal Sanctum, it wasn't the results that they were looking for, but certainly quite close to the results that they wanted to achieve. Now, if Indomie Gang does carry on this performance and certainly improves on their plays, they might actually be the ones coming out victorious here.
Yeah, I think we will be going to a quick break before the next map, so stick around because the next map will be just around the corner. Well, we should be going to a break soon. So we are back. Final match of today, the day 2 of our PACommunity Rivals number 1. And Connect Gaming are at advantage 1-0. Not anything unexpected because we are expecting Connect Gaming to show dominance in this match. But well played to Indomie Gang on the first map. So right now, we will be looking at what our second map will be. King's Row. What do you think about this map, Overshake?
Kings Row, quite a player favorite map, I would say. It actually should be favoring Connect Gaming's side, in my opinion. Now, that's only due to the fact that Connect Gaming were seen to know how to play a brawl composition, and executing a ball, especially on first point in Kings Row, is just really hard.
Yeah, certainly the limitations there from the tank line of Indomie Gang. Zekrom maybe only knowing how to play a ball. Interesting to see how Indomie Gang will adapt to Connect Gaming's rush if Connect Gaming even plays. Because we have seen 2 compositions from Connect Gaming and they both look like they're well practiced on it.
Indeed, and with a team like Connect Gaming, they are just expected to know how to run every single comp, and honestly, it's understandable if they just put on so much effort. I mean, these guys' work ethics are crazy, and they really do deserve to be the best of the best.
Yeah, that's the Japanese work ethic right there, but we should be getting into the map shortly. Into King's Row, the Connect Gaming versus Indomie Gang. This Connect Gaming is at match point and Indomie Gang needs to figure something out fast. because the tournament life is on the line right here. This is might be just be the final match they'll be playing in the tournament.
Indeed, and alright, we'll be going shortly into the map soon. Now, what I'm expecting from Indomie Gang is probably a Ball Zarya composition once again, with a Genji probably, and Chun-Li on the Ana, Hubshin on the Mercy, and kind of curious on what Broccoli is gonna pick here, but Connect Gaming on the double bubble composition, interesting, and oh wow, Ender Flame on the Widow.
And it seems like on their defense, Connect Gaming going for something a little bit interesting here, going for the double bubble. I saw Nico hover over the Genji, wanted to see it, but it seems like he'll just be going back to his signature Tracer.
Indeed, and a double sniper coming in from Indomie Gang's side on the attacking point of King's Row. Now, a double sniper isn't something that you see every day in King's Row attack, and that's due to the lack of open areas in King's Row. But First Point might just be able to do it here, as Ender Flame swaps over back to Genji. Okay, well, yeah, I'm actually cursed.
Seems like Ender Flame just going back to his comfort pick as Zekrom rolls up, trying to scout out what the enemy is playing, and after realizing what Connect Gaming are playing, decides to play it slow by Broccoli. Nice pick on the Sonic there onto Lapin, opening up the fight for his team. Now they're just all on the point. It's up to Connect Gaming to see how they'll react, and what they'll react is with KSG and Nico on the dive deep in the back line. They catch out Broccoli.
Well, it seems that a very messy fight is taking place right here, with KSG trying to deny as much space as he can from Indomie Gang, and Lapin already back from his slumber, from his sleep, and just getting the picks that are required that stops Indomie Gang's push.
Yeah, and not much outs from both sides right here, as the rest of Indomie Gang are trying to push back to the point. KSG just looking at the back line, there's the nano boost going out, trying to get a pick, and that he does onto Chun-Li, already fallen alongside Broccoli. As high energy on the Zarya, no one can contest him right now. Cardi can do nothing. And back to his respawn screen they go.
Connect Gaming is just running it down mid with what Indomie Gang has on them. Really, the without the presence of a break, you really cannot keep your Zenyatta alive against the double bubble comp that Connect Gaming is running right now. But we'll be able to see some flashy plays with some of the ults that have been accumulated throughout the fight. But Zekrom already so low before the start of the fight.
Yeah, the DPS from the side of Connect Gaming already picks off two members from Indomie Gang. And Zekrom got... It was a nice lead from Liz, but Zekrom going in just front line so deep into the battle of Connect Gaming, not really that smart of a decision from him.
Indeed, Indomie Gangs has to change up their strategies here instead of blindly walking into Connect Gaming.
Transcendence comes out from Chun-Li. Hubshin almost fell to a pulse bomb there, but he doesn't, as Ender Flame is looking to whip down his blade, and he catches two already. I think Min is going to be in trouble, and once again, opening up the team fight for his team Ender Flame, but the rest of his team has fallen, and Indomie Gang can't push in.
With 3 picks coming in from Ender Flame, Indomie Gang still could not sustain long enough for to win out the fight here, but maybe they might be able to retake due to the close spawn.
But ASK is so high energy, perch up on the high ground. He's overlapping Cardi on the Graviton Surge outcharge, but nice 2 kills, nice 2 headshots from Broccoli. Has just probably just clinched his team the victory, and he catches another one onto Min and another one onto KSG.
Oh
Clutch plays
my.
from both the DPS from Indomie Gang, one fight after another, open up the fight from Connect Gaming.
Such a clean, polished play coming in from Broccoli here. He, unfortunately, Connect Gaming did not check the off angle, and Broccoli came in at such a crucial moment, getting those 4 picks that allowed his team to push up right here. With a Grab Dragon at their disposal, I think Connect Gaming might be in trouble here.
Even they also have the Valkyrie to back up their support line, and it's up to Connect Gaming to see how to engage this fight. But Zekrom decides he wants to take charge and goes in first, but that leaves the rest of his team exposed to the Nano KSG. But the Graph comes out, Dragon Strike doesn't really connect, doesn't really get anything, but Cherney catches Nico off guard.
Doesn't really connect. I like that joke. And so many ults coming in from Connect side, and Indomie Gang does use their ults to fight back, but unfortunately they did not really plan it out that much, and the Nano just going to waste. Well, while ASK's Grav just putting so much value.
Yeah, and that means Enderflame doesn't have the Nano to back up his Dragon Blade, he only has a vanilla one. But Broccoli already forced you to a nice execution of dive between KSG and Nico, and that's a nice stick, catches out Chun-Li, now looking for Hapchun in the back line.
Nico
But not
absolutely
getting too greedy
tearing
as
it
he just
out.
falls back to his team.
Nico absolutely tearing it out in the back line, but not getting greedy enough for him to risk getting picked. Now that is the type of control you want to see against on a good tracer right there. And Zekrom with the minefield and Enderflame with the blade, maybe they might combo and some wacky results might happen, but Zekrom just getting beaten up right now in the backline.
It's up to Enderflame whether he can pull anything off, but he's already half HP the moment he put out his Dragon Blade, and Us just takes him down. And Zekrom is staying so much in the backline that he's sometimes not even appearing in the fight.
Indeed, and Enderflame attempting for a raw blade. The raw blades never really work out. Genji raw blades are just so hard to pull off, and Connect Gaming really just stapling their defense here. And ooh.
But Zekrom manages to take down Lapin, surprising him at the last moment, and plays down his minefields, which allows Enderflame to catch out mid. KSG anti right now pushed into the minefield as Indomie Gang somehow or another stabilizes and managed to push Connect Gaming back.
Indomie Gang did capitalize off of Connect Gaming's positional mistakes on the defense, and that caused a snowball to be formed right here. And Connect Gaming might be looking in a bit of a stump here, but with so many ults on their economy, I think they're gonna do just fine. I don't know about you, but Indomie Gang, so many ults in their economy as well, and a nanoed monkey already jumps into the backline.
Nano comes down to Enderflame, but he doesn't even have the blade. Let's see if I can take Gus down with the vanilla Genji kit. He manages to catch out Liz, but nothing more and nothing less, as Us catches out himself with Enderflame down. Cardi throws out the Graph, only catches Nico, but he does manage to get the pick off. It's only 3 members left on the point for Indomie, make that 2 because Chun-Li just fell. Desperation Dragon Strike from Broccoli won't get anything done because KSG is just pushing everyone around as Connect Gaming manages to defend on the second point.
KSG really just able to play around with Indomie Gang's teammates, and I have to say, Connect Gaming, it's not showing the absolute dominance that they were showing against Indomie Gang, and maybe if Indomie Gang plays their cards right, they might be able to find a potential win.
Yeah, certainly, and the sides have been swapped. Connect Gaming coming into the attack phase with a heavy advantage, just needs to cap out at the start of the third point. Let's see what composition Indomie Gang decides to roll out on the defense.
Seems that they're playing a mirror composition from what they played on attack, and as they should. You know, it seems that that comp works best for them, and they're very comfortable with all the characters that they've picked.
Yeah, and
Mid
Connect Gaming on the attack, just trolling us at the moment, don't really know what comp they'll play. But certainly there have been some shining spots from Indomie Gang, such as Broccoli, just 3 headshots to secure his team the first point.
And also Enderflame coming in huge with some of the blade plays that he shows.
Yeah, and seems like at the end of the day, when the spawn doors have opened, Connect Gaming chooses to roll out on the Brawl. Interesting. Let's see what the TP. Nico is on the Symmetra right now, trying to pull off some interesting TP, but nice displacement from Zekrom to catch them off guard. Can't really TP it, but already catches out Hubstern. That's the main healer down for Indomie Gang. They're just relying on Zen heals from Chun-Li, and no matter how good Chun-Li can be on the Zen, he can't possibly heal up his whole team.
Indeed, and Indomie Gang just has to back off while waiting for the rest of the team members to just come back onto point. And oh no, Zekrom, he's just getting abused right now. And Indomie Gang just had to give up point because without the Mercy, you're losing the biggest source of heals that you have on your team. And you really can't take a sustainable fight with it. And it seems like no one's really gonna push card here, and they're just gonna rush in and disrespect them.
Yeah, no one's even on the card, just rushing through the whole Indomie Gang. They have 5 minutes 20 seconds to just push through 1 point. I fear that Indomie Gang is at a severe disadvantage right now as Cardi emergency swaps to the Ryan, but Ryan Ball is a really weird composition.
Indeed, and especially forcing a Ryan while you have a Mercy Zen might be the hardest thing in the world to do, but I guess he went to Ryan just to block the Shatter. I'm not really sure.
And Zekrom tries to engage, but his other tank partner has already fallen. Minefields all over the point. Can Connect Gaming react? No one has died yet. Immortality has been forced out from this, and that's the Dragon Blade going in. Both members of Connect Gaming backline is solo right now as Enderflame once again catches 2. Good play from Enderflame. Might have just saved his team's life at the last moment as just lives on the point right now as he dies.
Enderflame, very impressive with the amount of control that he has with the blade, slicing 3 while dodging the bomb, and Nico using the Symmetra wall while he goes
I think he's swapping.
Interesting, and he does make the swap to McCree. With Connect Gaming, with the Shatter and the Blizzard, it seems that I think it's gonna be a very one-sided fight as Nico already gets an early pick on Enderflame.
Oh no, and they catch Cardi when he's trying to pull off a flank. Zekrom is just being frozen in the back right now. Chun-Li procs the Transcendence, but there's no one he can save as everyone is already dead. Just 3 squishies, they are forced to retreat as Lapin just throws in the Blizzard on the point. I don't even think anyone can contest as Nico catches 3 on with his McCree. It's up to Zekrom, but he can't even touch because he got booped. And it's already over because Connect Gaming catches them with the rush and takes Indomie Gang in a fast 2-0 victory.
Man, Indomie Gang putting up a decent fight, but it just wasn't enough at the end of the day. Connect Gaming coming up with a 2-0 victory after Nepal and after King's Row. They were just able to win Indomie Gang with relative ease, but Enderflame with quite an impressive blade, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely, but valiant attempt by Indomie Gang, even though they came in at disadvantage, still didn't give up no matter what. Even at the last fight, they tried their best with some decision-making swaps over to the Rhine. Didn't really work out, but the attempt was still there. And well played to both teams. Some shining spots from Indomie Gang. Zekrom, Enderflame, Broccoli did quite well for what they were given, and Chun-Li, of course, on the support line doing consistent hours. But well played to Connect Gaming as we take a short break before going to our post-match and post-day discussion. And welcome back, everybody. It seems like due to some connection issues, veterans will not be joining us on the desk this time around as we wrap up our second day of the group stages. So, after today, Connect Gaming has taken the tour over Indomie Gang. Any players on Connect Gaming that really impressed you today, Overshake?
Well, I mean, Connect Gaming just does what they do, and I think I can't really name a star player because I think that all of them, you know, they none. I think that all of them really shared the amount of value that they got as an individual, and I don't think any of them were really like you know, like an insane carry or anything like that. But you know, I do have to shout out Nico and Leipin. Obviously, the DPSs, they're just doing work, and you know, the rest of Connect Gaming being very competent, making the space that you know the DPS needs, and you know the supports keeping them up with dives coming in from ball. Yeah, but I think Indomie Gang also did put up quite a decent fight, I have to say.
Yeah, and after today, we will be cutting down our teams from 8 to 4, and we can't really get confirmation yet which teams will be advancing because Harm match hasn't happened yet. But we will be posting on our social media and our Discord server the latest announcement of who will be making it to the semi-finals and when the stream will be. So, well played to all 8 teams today, and especially the teams that we couldn't have the chance to broadcast. And this will be it for today. Any last words, Overshake?
Yeah, I thank each and every individual that comes in to play, you know, the tournaments. You know, it's been a lot of fun casting the games, and all of us appreciates it when you know we're trying to keep the Pacific scene alive again. You know, I think it's very important that you know there's still a small handful of players that really are still passionate about the game, and they still want to play it for fun or you know for just the sake of getting good. Whatever reason, I still think it's really lovely just to see you know all of us like trying to keep the scene alive. Yeah, so thank you guys for participating in the tournament. Whether or not if you win or lose, it's just an overall fun experience.
Yeah, and props to the admin team. Don't forget to follow us on our socials, PACommunity OW on Twitter, and CMG Arena, and of course us three veterans on Instagram, and me and Overshake on Twitter. So
Oh yeah, and
that'll
my
be
Twitch
it
as well.
from
Although I don't stream, but you know.
but that'll be it for us today. So see you next Friday as we kick off our playoffs. So that'll be it from us. See you around.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.